Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,844,000,000 1 trillion. This money is too much for me. 1 trillion. I hope that is not of the record.
Hello out there. It's good to see you guys once again. Those days when we were growing up, we have been NTA we are watching, and if it's on Sundays we'll have the Franco Lise, and what you say is, it is 9 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? So I'll say the same thing this day. It is 5 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Do you know what they are doing? What they are watching? Are you watching your social media? We need to not forget our custom and our tradition. That's what have kept Africa where it is. I don't mind. I don't care how educated, how advanced, whatever you are. I believe that African tradition, way of life, way of culture, it still remains the bedrock of society. So, having said that, you are welcome to yet another very interesting episode. We just finished watching a very wonderful session that was led by one of the. I thought he was going to be a representative of government, but he didn't speak like somebody who representing government. So I guess that he's one of those few kind of people that we want in our society, in our governance space, people who can tell the truth to those who are in power. And so today we're going to be taking reaction from the fallout of that interview, and we're looking at the practical ways Tinubu's government can deliver real renewed hope to Nigerians. And what is your take concerning that interview that just ended? What do you make out of what he was able to put across to us? And I will not take too much time because I don't want to dilute the discussion. I want you guys to very quickly come on and then let us jaw. Remember, very respectful. We will not tolerate insults. You mustn't say anything. You can just, if you don't know what to say, just say, Prof, thank you so much for what the answers you gave us. It's not every time we must have to find something to criticize about somebody's presentation. We can equally say the good things about what the person has been able to put forward. And on this occasion, I would really like people to, because I think he gave a good account of himself and, his ideas. Let us dwell on that part. However, we don't try to tell you what to say, but just say it nicely and the way that it can be accepted. Having said that, I want to also say that Nigeria is, the more you look, the less you understand. Many things are happening. If we have time, we'll go into one or two of them. But if we don't, Well, there's something we also want you to keep enjoying. And as we dive in and wait for more people to come, I can see Chim behind the stage. All right, that young lady makes me smile all through. Those days when we used to dance, those are kind of people who, when they get on the stage, that nkwa dagoro, And if any of you have a contact, I would like to have an interview with her right on this channel so that we understand how her movement is not like children of these days. She's very great. Her movements are very gracious. And how did she get to? Is she a dancer like some of us used to be? Is she a choreographer? Is she trained, or just that God had given her that, gifted her that, and she's, displaying it? And I think she brings a lot of joy. Good thing about her dance is that whenever she's dancing, she's always smiling. That tells me that she's not just a dancer, but she probably be a professional also, because that's one of the things we teach, that when you are dancing, what people have come to see is not how difficult the dance is, but how gracious your face is and your movements are while you are doing that. It's a good way to break in. And so I invite Mr. Chim back from the stage. Mr. Chim, it's good to see you. And I see my brother, Maska, also right on time. You guys are welcome. It was a brutal one, like I was saying.
Wondering how fast the transformation is.
Exactly. you read my mind.
I don't understand.
You did read my mind very well, Masker. Trust me, you did.
Yeah, I saw it in your face.
Oh, the transmission of the introduction.
No. I came back from a meeting, so I joined the show.
Oh yes, I mean you were wearing something white before now.
White, yeah. So now Chim will be like, is it not this? Are there two maskers that I know?
All right. I thought you guys were talking about the dancing young lady.
No.
Yeah, back to that dance. Do you know which people? Who are those people? Because I'm trying to understand which group. That's not an Ebonyi dance or Anambra dance. Because I was enjoying. I could relate easily with the music, but I want to know which of the sub-Igbo sets that music is from. Is it Egundo or something? I don't know. Where is that?
I don't know. I tried reaching out to her because I have a lot of her dances, but I didn't get a response. So when I saw it, I don't know if Rudolph was the one who brought it in. But
I love the dance. It's very. Yeah,
you need to see the rest of our dances. Very, 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 very entertaining. All right, having said that, you all are welcome, and there are great dances, and I'm sure that Maska wouldn't know that I used to dance the Jarawa dance from Plateau State, but that's a discussion.
Like somebody who will dance.
Yeah, I used to dance the Jarawa. I also dance the Bori dance, and the Fulani dance, or I did all that. We touched those bases. But anyway, today is a different day. We had a guy who was able to not only talk about how Nigeria can go forward, which is one of the things we like, but also some of the things that could have been done better to bring us to a more faster pace of development. The question is, do they even listen? But before we go into that, let us hear from Chim. Chim, what do you think, and how do you make of all the discussion I went on today? Is there something he missed? Is there something you want to add, or the ball is in your court?
Okay, thank you, KJ. So you know my views. I don't disagree for disagreement's sake. So I know people would say, "Oh, the man came." Everybody seemed to be agreeing with him, like Odi said, and all that. I get it. The angle where he got to, and it looked like he was patronizing and defending Pastor Bakari and all that. And then when he said the governors are more criminals, making it look like he was giving Tnubu a pass and all that. But I understood what he was trying to say. He's quite knowledgeable about his area of expertise, and he seems to know a lot. So though he's in diaspora, he's keeping a tabs of what is going on back home. So I share his views. Like I said, maybe the most contentious is where I should start from, which is the last video Rudolph played, which was not really part of the entire conversation of the day. But Rudolph threw that in as an addition, and I'm sure it listed a lot of emotions and disagreements wherever anybody was. Pastor Professor Shibajo was trying to call out his minister brothers and the abuses of the word of God and preaching. And because we have a Muslim here, I'm going to try and make it across. When it comes to the issue of faith and preaching, there are many ministers and imams and clerics who abuse, who weaponize it for good or for evil. They use it wrongly. They use it. I mean, there was one, I don't know whether it was you that shared it or somebody shared it where, okay, a friend of mine, I'll share that with you so that you can probably play it later.
You don't need to go far. Boko Haram is a classic example. Where the man said you cannot go to school if you are a true Muslim. Like, how is that even possible?
Exactly. So I agree with you. So these are the, and that is what I was trying to remind Rudolph early. In that pre-enlightenment era, there were people who were using, even the papacy, this pope that Catholics has abused, many popes have abused their privileges, used it to, enrich themselves and do a lot of harm and all that. But Oshiba just said, anywhere the true word of God is preached, he said it brings transformation. Because the true word of God does not say somebody should go and be praying on a Monday morning when he should be at work, working for his employer. He even said it that those ministers were saying, hey, if you are using your employer's time to go and do your personal stuff, you're stealing. We've reduced sin and stealing to I took Masca's 10 kobo, or a man went and committed adultery or fornication. That's what we have reduced it to. No. When you lie to someone using the word of God and you use it to bait them and take money from them, that's stealing. And a lot of ministers are stealing. They're stealing from their congregations. There was one I'm going to send to you privately, KJ. Then if you think it's worthy, you can play it here. A man ambushed a woman and was telling the woman that he's an oracle and that it was his prayer that made her daughter to go abroad and get visa, and that now the girl is abroad. The girl needs to send him $1,000 or else she will, as an oracle, pray and then she will be deported back. And I'm saying, what kind of gibberish and rubbish is this? Do you understand? So those are the and people who are antagonistic to faith, these are the things they pick on and they castigate faith. But they will not see the one that is feeding the poor. They won't see the one that will wake up and say, oh, I cannot watch my fellow human being go hungry, and they go and take care of them. The concept of food bank that you have in most Western societies is a Christian concept. It's a concept that came from people in church taking care of the widows and the poor. And those societies took it and institutionalized it and made it a food bank. There is a ministry here in Canada called Samaritan Sports. You and I know what it means to be Samaritan. Samaritan Sports. That's what it's called. It's a Christian faith, but guess what? Today, it's still holding that name, but it's no longer a Christian institution. It's now a very secular body, but they are still calling themselves Samaritan Sports. So these are the things we're talking. Society is evolving. Unfortunately, with the breakdown of knowledge, a lot of people are moving away from faith. And I can understand it when somebody's like, why do I need to go to church? You get it, or go to mosque or whatever it is. I think I'll just focus on science and technology. To each according to what he wants. But back to more critical issues of national development. I think the guy gave lots of insights into some of the things government should do. Like the subsidy matter we're talking about, which is why I asked him, even though I don't agree with him when he said there are subsidies, I don't know. I mean, Maska is in Nigeria. He can add his voice to this. Which subsidy will you say government is giving in Nigeria today? Which exact subsidy?
Actually, I will totally agree with him. It's not really subsidy. See, the problem with Nigeria is that everything is modular. When you say subsidy in Nigeria now, what it means is that there is discriminated pricing. Pricing is not, how do I put it now? Pricing is not, what's the word when something is obvious, it's clean, it's open? you don't know, there's no logic to pricing. Honestly speaking, he's right. The kind of electricity I pay, the bill I pay, I know I couldn't have afforded it if not that God gave me the wisdom long time ago to install solar in my house. Because 4,000 naira would not last in our house up to maybe like 4 hours. It will finish. So which means like on a daily basis, I should spend 24,000 naira if I want to run electricity round the clock. But you go to some places where the money they pay is band C. It's not as expensive as those of us that are in band A. You know, but my understanding is it's not opaque. It's not okay, the word is transparent. It's not transparent. Pricing, when you say subsidies, so in Nigeria, when you hear so, that means pricing is not transparent. You can't say, oh, I'm not okay with this, let me go here. You know, and government would now be amassing some money and say, oh, because of this and that. Because it's true. I'd had to do some things with Mbet, and I know that they are owing a lot of the generating companies money. You know, and look, it's complicated, Chief. Nigeria is a bad place because there are some places, especially in Kano, if you go, you as a NEPA person, you dare not go there to say you want to go and cut somebody's light, but they are enjoying life. So are they not? And in my mind, it's not government subsidizing these people. It's people like me that are subsidizing them, because the government is overbilling us to just provide electricity to everybody. And okay, maybe I don't know if you finished, but in my mind, I think
you guys go ahead. I'm done for now.
In my mind, I think it was one of the most wonderful sessions I've had because, okay, somebody was telling him that, oh, these people will not listen, but I don't have that school of thought. Yes, maybe this government will not listen. Okay, but you should do stuff that is positive like this. If you have that understanding, because knowledge is not common. It's not like common sense. You can look at but the knowledge that guy has of the energy sector, if it's a good country, they will fly him in and sit him down, let him explain to people, even if they are not going to listen to him. If they are smart people, they should call him because that guy is knowledgeable. So for me, it was a wonderful session because he has explained some of the things that it was confusing me. Even though I don't think that his explanation was full, but it gave me a pointer that if you do one part of the privatization and you leave a significant part without, then you are almost, that's where still this issue of corruption is coming. That's where this debt is coming in, you know. So I think it was a good session, and I don't agree with the people who are saying that just because he's making an excuse for Pastor Bakare, therefore he's making a pass. Look, we see. I'm sure even the devil, there are people who are following him.
Okay, thank you, Maska. And on the issue of Pastor Tunde Bakari, before I come to my brother John, I just want to, maybe put this. I don't know. I didn't follow that discussion to the end, but if you follow,
sorry, KJ, even on the Pastor Bakare, there is something that I wanted to say, but I just didn't want to drag issues.
Yes.
And sorry to my Christian brothers. Is it not obvious that almost every Christian prophet is prone to prophesizing? How many of these prophecies have actually come to pass? It would be out of place to just pick on Pastor Bakare. Almost every Christian prophet I know, all of them, they prophesy. All of them, they prophesy.
That's why I want to go to Maska. Because I follow Tunde Bakari, and I follow that God told him. He never said God told him. He said he asked God. He asked God. He said to God he wants to run. I'm telling you because I followed him. And he said that many times. He said on the issue concerning running for presidency, God didn't give me any answer. He said so. I was one of those adamant followers of Tunde Bakari.
In fact, the video where he said,
please don't make excuse for him.
Hold on. Let you finish.
You played a video where I saw him. He said Buhari is number 15.
Yes.
Number 16.
Yes. That's not where he started. That's his broadcast. If you follow Tunde Bakare very well, it's not Buhari. That was the second time that he said that. In the earlier time that he came into government, came into politics, he said God asked him. He told God he wanted to go for. God said, as long as you are doing my work, whatever you want to do is not my business. He said he asked God, but God never told him he's going to win. If you go back now, it's not Buhari that.
KJ, hold on, KJ. Sorry.
I'm coming.
Hold on now. Let's not waste time. In this instance,
Mm-hmm.
he said that God said to him that Buhari is number what, and then 15, he is number whatever. 15. He said
Buhari is number 15. He is number 16. Yes, I followed it. And
he said God. He said God.
Let me say this to you, and I'm not trying to defend him. Okay, you see, even the great man called John the Baptist, who got the vision of who Christ is, who baptized Christ when he came to the River Jordan, after some years, not even up to a year, he sent his disciples to go back and ask Christ. Yes. So the purpose of we are completely 100% human beings. It doesn't matter how much you have been able to prophesy correct. You can prophesy and God decide not to honor it. What are you going to do? Are you going to beat God? But you see, I understand where Masker is coming and where many people are coming from, because sometimes we use this thing to hoodwink people and collect their resources. And that is also understandable, because the church is not a place of perfect people. The church is like a hospital. When you come to the church, assume that you are coming to madmen and all the rest. And each and every one of us in the church have a problem that have brought us there. And that's why I tell people who come to me for counseling, when you want to marry a young girl, you go to see one brother, they dance, go for church, they do this. I say, don't take that as this thing. Go and search. Okay, go and pray and get a conviction. Know the person beyond what the person is doing in the public.
KJ, and apologies, John.
I'm not trying to defend, but we can go ahead.
Yeah, I know you're not defending. That's fine. I get you. Listen, I understand you, so I can push back. You understand my pushing back is not a case of hatred.
Yes.
So the point is this. Let's even use your analogy of the church being a hospital. In the hospital, you have a doctor. Okay, you have nurses. So even if you say the pastors are not the doctors, if you want to excuse them and say they're not the doctors, that is the Holy Spirit. Now, don't forget that when those sick people come in, a sick person cannot be treated by another sick person. A sick person will be treated by somebody who is sane.
Yes.
So if the pastors are the doctors, then the doctor needs to be sane to treat sick people. But if the doctor now has a problem, then there's a problem with the people you're supposed to be treating.
No, he wasn't have a problem. If not, when people go to national hospital, they shouldn't die now. But they have been money dead.
That is why
doctors can do their best, but some don't still get cured.
Good. Now
that's how it is.
Good.
And some of the doctors, let's discuss this, Jim. Some of the doctors are very terrible. I mean, when I was dating, I used to have a lady who, whenever she's going to hospital, I say, follow me, because this doctor is very funny. You understand what I'm saying? So I used to follow and go and sit in the place, because the doctor. So people are who they would be, irrespective of what they are saying. So we can't even use that as an analogy.
But KJ, here's the point. Every minister that is truthful, and I'm not saying Tunde Bakare is not a truthful person, no. I'm not going to use one instance to suddenly destroy all the good works he has done over the years. No, I wouldn't do that. But the point is this. There are moments when people make mistakes. You come out and say you've made a mistake.
Yeah.
So the problem I have with our ministers these days is a lot of ministers, when they get things wrong, they don't come back and say, I didn't hear well. Listen,
I agree.
Human beings are not looking. Do you know that human beings want to just see that honesty? And they will excuse.
No, but sorry, Tim. This one now, I'm going to use common sense, even though I'm not a big fan of common sense. But sincerely speaking, if I'm a pastor,
yes,
and I say God said this, it's not that I had it wrong. Because if God is God, he told me yes, but he didn't do it. Who am I to question him? And I know I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but see, but
let me give you another analogy. Let's say somebody comes and say he wants to borrow 10,000 naira. He needs 10,000. I say, okay, I'll give you in 2 weeks' time. And he goes to say, oh, this person said he will give me 10,000. In the end, I may not give him.
Yeah, but Masker, you're not God. You're human.
No, God, no. Sincerely speaking.
No. So when
let's move on.
Masker, hold on. Let's correct something. When you say God said, God is not fallible. God will not say what he will not fulfill. If he says something, he will do it. Now, the moment you say you throw in God into it, God is bound to do it. What I expect people to no, hold on, guys, hold on. Because I don't want people to, let's not confuse people. I'm not into that business of confusing people. If you think you heard God, let me give you an example. Just this, and I'll end here. David was anointed to be king, but there was another king sitting on the throne. He had the opportunity to kill the king many times. He didn't do it. He said, this person has not been removed by God. When that God will use his hand and remove him and replace me. And which is what happened. But guess what? There was a Jonathan who was supposed to take over from his father. And that was why his father was fighting to make sure that David did not see the living daylight. Jonathan realized that God was calling David and not him. He told him. But you know what he said to David? He said, my father knows that you've been anointed and you will be king. And that I will be next to you as your assistant. And he's trying to frustrate it.
All right, gentlemen, good night. It's nice talking to you.
Hold on, Jonathan.
I'm ending, please don't be offended. At the end of the day, that Jonathan died. He didn't live to assist. But guess what? The point I'm making is Jonathan didn't say, God told me I will be your assistant. He said, and I will be your assistant. He didn't bring God into it. So people need to be careful
but listen,
into things.
What I wanted you to know is this, and before you go, Masker, God can say one thing and say, but now I change my mind. It's in the Bible. You know, that's one of what I can say that much because must
God come back to you and tell you I have changed my mind?
No, he mustn't. And I want to say this again. You see, there was a famous American televangelist called Pat Robertson. If you read Pat Robertson's account, why did he run for the presidency of America? Because he went to prayer. And God told him, I will make you president. You understand? So when God said to him, I will make you president, he thought God said, I'm going to make you president of America. So he got into the Republican Party. He ran until when he failed, he went back to God in prayer and said, God, but I heard you when you said, I will make you president. And then he said, God told him, did you wait for me to tell you which president? So he said, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't wait for you to tell me. So he said, I'm going to make you president of the Christian Broadcasting Network, CBN. That's how CBN came into being. Until today, it has outlived the man. So sometimes we ourselves don't even wait to hear all the instruction, but out of excitement, the small that we hear, we run with it. And then we'll go and discover that, we have jammed Rocco. Then we'll come back. Some people come back, some people don't. Some people even continue in error and continue that way. Because one time a guy came and met me and said, I'm seeing that you should start a church. I said, no, I've not seen that I should start any church. And I'm not going to, but I will assist you to establish your own and do what I can, how I can assist. Yeah, I'm not, you see, until I hear in my ear and I confirm that that's what God is saying. I'm not going to run because you think you're a great man of God and you're telling me this is what God is saying. God will confirm by telling me also. And that's how it is. And so, but we are all human beings. Everybody, no matter how anointed you are, whether you are a pastor or a man, you are still a human being. You will continue to go and chop, go to toilet. You will continue to do every other thing that every other human being will do. You are not going to become an angel overnight. And, that's the world, And for Tunde Bakari, let me not say he's a great man, but of course, sometimes you get it wrong too. That's what it is. I can't take that away. Let's hear from John Abba, who is also he and Tunde Bakari are they are in the same listing. So
gentlemen, good night. It's nice talking to all of you.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank you so
right.
much.
Good night, Moscow. Thank you, KJ, Chim, my brother IK. The man is very knowledgeable about what he's saying and is very much in touch with all the happening in Nigeria, both political and otherwise. And there's no surprise since you say you have a company in Nigeria. So it's also when you have interest, Bible say where your treasure is, that's where your heart should be. So I think that gave him the picture, not because of the knowledge, but because of all the things that his investment in Nigeria. So I have full respect for him. On the religious issue, religion is private. I always believe that it's a choice in some cases. And some cases, people, if you are brought up in a Christian family, you will be a Christian. Some convert. It's not in a very high percentage of people who change religion. So I don't have problem whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, whatever the faith that is guiding you, that bring you peace and harmony and influence your judgment in the right way. That is you is left for you. If you cannot because you are a Christian, then that makes me believe what you say. But if you like him is an expert in that and he display it today that he knows exactly what he's talking about. So and I really enjoy it. I listened to him from the very beginning to the end. So, and I enjoy to see that we always have the best of Nigerian around the world. I always say the only place Nigerian cannot live to their God-given potential is only in Nigeria. You can see this kind of brain all over the world. Uh, they are there. All of you are good ambassadors of Nigeria where you are. So it's no surprise about that. And hopefully one day they'll begin to bring back all those brain. But many brain have gone back and get frustrated by the system they have there if you want to do the right thing. So he mentioned that the energy sector, only one person is a biologist. The rest are one is accountant. One. So you can imagine yourself being in the area that you yourself have no knowledge about it, except the people that are working with you, you sit you down because of your interest and the political influence that you have to get the position. And then it's also tell about how did our leader choose who preside over sect of things. That you just going to bring a accountant to become the Attorney General of the state? Are you going to bring electrician, a pilot to become Attorney General? People have to have a basic knowledge of whatever you assign them to do, so that those that work with them, he can detect from to them based on the knowledge, not just because political appointment or bringing somebody that have no knowledge of that field. And that tell on where we are today. It's very sad that we have all this brain around the world, but our country could not work because of interest and because of bad leader that are there just I think there is something fundamentally that happened in our society. There is enemy of the people by the leader. Who are the leaders? Who have no knowledge, rather they come for chop I chop. They just go there to just go and take the money and for themselves and to their own uh, families and friends. And then when it comes to the issue of the last video that Rudy played, in as much as the former vice president of Sibanjo speak eloquently, I have a problem with his speech because that is very dishonest. It's yes. Um, whatever he talked about is very dishonest in the sense that there is what is called restitution in the Bible. When a restitution means that something you acquire forcefully, just like he also mentioned in his speech, whatever where he was that he was making that speech. He never referred to himself about his own imperfection. For me, for people like that to talk to me, since they're involved in the public service, they're not perfect. They could have bring their own issue. One of the scandal was his daughter was caught in UK with thousands of dollars and pounds sterling in her car. Why can't you say to, and he talk about good work and hard work? Why can't the daughter earn that money? So the thing, end of the day, there's what is called virtue. But the impact that you make is that when you have something in your own cupboard and being honest about it, that you are not perfect, but this is what and this, you are ashamed, you are not proud of it, then then you can resonate with people like me. Like, I will not just say because you say it and you are very eloquent and people are clapping hand, and those people that the picture behind him or whatever he's trying to address it, he should start with himself. And that is where I would say, wow, this is a great man. He know that he's not perfect. Give you an example about that. I'm not saying he's a perfect man. There was there was a preaching by T.D. Jakes, the the founder of Potter's House, and many years ago, and he said that, oh, and this is the topic. It says that one is born again forever, which means he do not in that way that you cannot backslide. The grace is available to see. And later he says he make an error that anyone that bought that tape or issue take it back, he will give them their money back. That is a level of integrity. Not that he's perfect. He understands his own struggles with his family, just like every one of us. We have things that we go through, but you cannot just make a public speech for people. You have been Attorney General of Lagos. You have Tnubu's boy. You have something to do with alphabet or whatever it is. You become the vice president. You are a pastor, and then you come to preach that bogus preaching without saying, "Okay, when I was this, this is what has happened, and I understand this. I'm not proud of it." But then to just at last that, oh, you are a perfect man being there. The word transform people's society. The word of God transform society. People gonna learn about this thing. And all those nations in nation, they are not Christian nations, and they make it. So what about that? So I think the hypocrisy is what I completely turn me off on the message bodies. Any other thing, the word is great. So his message is great, but he could have started with himself. That will make me say, oh wow, this one is an honest man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janaba. It's good to
Yes,
see
sir.
you.
Well
And
said.
I want to say this before you say what you want to say. I totally agree with what you're saying, and I'll read out this information. According to the 2023 report by the International Society for Civil Liberty and the Rule of Law, okay, Inter Society, and then a Nigerian human rights organization, more than 30,000 Christians were killed by Islamic militants during former President Buhari's 8 years of rule in Nigeria. Now, I would have expected that he, being a pastor, would have even talked about this once in the time that he was vice president in Nigeria. He never for one day, not one day, did he even condemn or speak about that which was going on at that time in Nigeria. So I think it's disingenuous disingenuous for him to come and begin to tell us, because you didn't do anything. You didn't talk to your boss, whether in secret or in public. He didn't even comment. In fact, when they even went to what happened in Owo, in this, you never talked about it. Okay, so what makes me think that now you are now speaking on because you want to bring yourself back into limelight? Are you thinking that somebody wants to put you up against Tnubu? Anyway, let me leave that for Mr. Ike to answer. Thank you. Welcome and welcome. Stay humble.
I think Kim wanted to say something, right?
Yeah. Oh, Kim, you want to say something? Oh, go ahead now.
Thank you for bringing up this thing, John Abba. You see, when I said here that people need to always go back and correct themselves if you make a mistake, that's the virtue of an honest person. He is not the first person. The person you mentioned, who you said preached something and went back, the guy who set up Methodist Church, what's their last name? For those who know, the Wesley
brothers.
John Wesley.
John Wesley.
I have the book, preached a message. And then down the years, he realized that all the things he had been preaching for almost 5-10 years was wrong. He said he realized it was wrong. Do you know what this man did? He made a list of all the places, cities he had gone and done those. He took a horse. We didn't have aeroplane, we didn't have cars. And he went back city by city, said, I preached so and so to people a couple of years ago. Please forgive me. That was wrong. He corrected himself, went back and re-preached those messages. How many ministers today are doing that? Is it that they don't know when they have made mistake? Let's even say the mistake is honest, that they said something and then the Spirit of God came out to say, KJ, that thing you just said is wrong. Oh. You just misled a huge herd of people. I need you to go and correct it. How many people do you see go back to go and correct it?
Okay, if you ask me, they normally come, but they use style. They don't agree that they've made. They say, but you see, that thing I said, you may have understood it this way, but that's not what it is. I meant this way. Yes, I'm telling you. I can point out
KJ, that's not honesty.
The same thing now.
That's not honesty.
And I was here with my wife, and I was shouting, just say that you made a mistake. You don't have to try and balance it.
KJ, that is the point now.
We're not solving equation. It's not equation. It's not equation. Just say, God has told you that you made a mistake. You have come to correct it. You are not bigger than God.
You don't need to say God said. Just simply go and say, I told you people last week that if you do first fruit, you'll be blessed. I just realized that I'm wrong. There is no such thing. Simple. If you can't do that, anybody who doesn't have the capacity to say I was wrong, fear that person.
All right, thank you so much. And I want to correct also, some people are making comment on this comment section. I want to let you know that God changes his mind, and I'll give you many examples. One of which comes off my mind right now is the story of Hezekiah. Hezekiah, they got a message from God that he's going to die in 15 years. He should prepare himself and get ready to die. But he turned his face to the wall and prayed. And God said to the same prophet, go back and tell him that he has 15 more years. And I want to go ahead. I mean, there are several. David committed an atrocity. Nathan went to him and said to him, you know what? This is what you did. This is what you did. What should be done to that person? He said, oh, that person should be killed. Say, you are the one. You are the one. And immediately, what did he do? He changed. So there are many places. The wrath of God that was supposed to have come to David because of the fact that he admitted and repented. So if you say God don't change his mind, that means that all of us who have sinned, we should die. It will just kill us now, because we all, it's the mercy of God that makes his wrath to go away. So that is changing his mind. I know that some people used to sing one song saying, no, I never seen the Lord changing. No, God changes his mind. And that's why some of us are still alive today. Let's get that set.
I will let you go and have your good evening. I may join you back, but then having said God changes his mind or not change his mind, and I'm sorry for my brothers who are supposed to talk in the next few minutes. I can stay humble. Uh, Sorry about this. Now, on the issue that came on, that was Prophet Tunde Bakare said that it's going to be the sisters after this. That's when we are talking God changes his mind or not change his mind. Uh, God is God all by himself. The Bible says anything he speak will not come back to him void. That is the Holy Bible, right? Now, when you say that and it doesn't, it may not be the right time. It may not be that that's the end of it. If at all, even if people want to find an excuse for him for saying that he will be, and it's not, but he was so specific about being distinct. So in any case, that if God changes his mind, he that God speak to him, he will come back and say, God said to me, yeah, I'm not go. It's not giving me again somebody else. The same God that is very fluent in talking with him, the same God will come back to talk to him, and then he will go back to the altar. Because when you sow that seed, like, oh, God said, people think you are trying to cajole God, cajole people to believe in your prophecy. People will misinterpret, and you have fed the entire body of Christ. Just like a masker is a Muslim, right? A Muslim brother. And I say, oh, I'm tired of hearing prophecy, and most of the prophecy never come to pass. Doesn't mean God is a liar, and what he said is not. But remember that there was a time that David himself was going to war, and he always seek God first. And at this particular time, God said, "Don't go. I will not go with you." And so, in any case, we make this complicated. It is his battle. Let him fight it with the audience and the people like us who will come out to say, "If God said that, what happened?" God changed his mind. Why don't you tell us when God changes his mind? That is the question. So that we keep the body of Christ, like Tim said, say people are beginning to leave faith, the Christianity, even Islam, not only one. People begin to say, okay, I'm tired. And if we keep doing that, the Bible says one thing. It says you may not have committed this sin, but if you have pleasure in them that do it, it says you will share the same thing. That's why it is very important that you don't attach yourself to these people who say things that practically is not, and they don't have any apology, not come back to say anything. Let them defend themselves. That is between them and their God. But we cannot find an excuse for them. All of us is that they came in the broad daylight to say to us, God said, and they never come back to say God didn't say it, or God changes his mind, or God tell us something otherwise. And we all know God is not a man. He cannot lie. If you say something, it will come to pass. The reason why they say God is not a man, he cannot lie, meaning that even if it's a daylight, and God said, let there be darkness, there will be darkness. That's what he means by God will not lie. If it is white, and God said, let it be black, it will turn black. That's what it means that God will not lie. Whatever he said, it will come to pass. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Ike.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, happy Sunday, depending from where you are. Um, really, I always try to avoid talking about faith and Christianity and religion in this platform or any platform but I want to say something about what the pastor said. We should not forget that in the body of Christ there are divisions of labor. You have the teachers, you have evangelists, you have pastors, you have missionaries, you have prophets. But the problem we have in the Christian world in the Christendom in Nigeria today, there's men of God who own churches. They are pastors, they are evangelists, they are prophets, they are missionaries, they are teachers, they're everything. But it's not what it's supposed to be. In the body of Christ, there are divisions of labor. The gift of God, the gift of the Holy Spirit is given freely. So the idea that most men of God or most pastors or men of God today, everybody goes to the pulpit, you begin to prophesy. What if your gift is a teacher? Why don't you teach? And KJ is giving the gift of prophecy. KJ will make prophecy. Stay humble will interpret the word of knowledge. And Jim will be an evangelist. And that's how the body of Christ is complete. But like most of us who are Christians have been so much brainwashed in Nigeria or mostly in Africa that we forgot the principles of God or the principles of the kingdom of God. So Jeremiah 14 verse 14 says, then the Lord says to me, the prophets are telling lies in my name. I have not sent them. I have not commanded them. I haven't spoken to them. They are prophesying to you false visions, worthless predictions, and deceit they have made up on their own. That is the word of God. And that is what we are suffering in the body of Christ today in Nigeria. So I don't know the calling of Pastor Tunde Bakare. Whether his calling is a prophet, I don't know. Whether his calling is an evangelist, I don't know. Whether his calling is a missionary, I don't know. Whether his calling is a teacher, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that the Christendom today in Nigeria is that once you own a church, you are the prophet, you are the pastor, you are the teacher, you are the missionary, you are the evangelist, you are everything. You are the disciple. It should not be so. And that's why the body of Christ is complete. So this idea that this idea of these men of God in Nigeria are using you know, every time everybody has turned into a prophet, you know, they're just making mockery of the body of Christ. And that's why that my brother Maska was able to say what he said. And what he said is true. And because the leaders, the people that are leading the body of Christ, have decided to use it as something that once you owe a church, God has given you every knowledge. God has given you every power to do everything only yourself. So I think that you know, Christians and men of God should be very careful. You know, we have to try to do the right thing. So we cannot continue to play with the name of the Lord. You know, so I think that this idea, every time we have the people are prophesying in the, you know, in Nigeria, most of these men of God, if you are called a prophet, you should know that you have the gift of the prophecy. If you're a teacher, you have the gift of teaching. If you're a minister, you have the gift of singing. So these things, God did it in a way that the Holy Spirit spread his blessings upon the people who want to serve God. And that's why he made it a body. That's why we are disciples. That's why we are ambassadors here on the earth. If Jesus believed that he can do it alone, there wouldn't have been the need of apostles. Even when God was even working with men, God wouldn't have been needing men to do most of the things he was doing. So I think that men of God in Nigeria should stop, you know, doing all these things that they do. By every time they continue to prophesy things that probably that God has not spoken or God has not told them, but only trying, you know, to muzzle the minds and muzzle the mind and the spiritual well-being of the members of their congregation in order to, you know, in order to get material benefit out of it. I'm sorry what is going on in the body of Christ, and I think that men of God should, you know, they should mind what they say.
Okay.
Like my KJ, when you were trying to explain, yeah, the case
All
of
right.
Hezekiah, yes, it's true, but doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't die. But God gave him extra 15 years. So just
Yeah,
like Abba said,
so
the word
you
of
know,
God.
let
The word
me
of
say
God never lies. That's true. I agree with that. That's true.
yes.
But
God never
only
lies, but
why I talked about this issue, like I said, I always try to avoid, you know, talking about this issue of, because so many things is happening in the body of Christ. But this particular one, I know why I read this particular Jeremiah, and I know why I said that. Have we forgotten that there are different gifts of the Spirit in the body of Christ?
all right. Thank you so much. Stay humble. You have been humbly staying there, and so now give us your understanding of what you have heard so far.
Yeah, well, stay humble was a phrase that this guy used. Um, that, um, this Man City striker Holland used against us when we played City, and since then he's been humbled. And even today, when he scored, he was really humble. He did. Anyway, it's fine. So, good evening, everyone. It's good to be back. Thank you for what you're doing. Yeah, I was just wondering whether we had another guest apart from because it looks like we are discussing.
No, this is just a fallout of a side talk. It's just like a side meeting, but we are going back to what we are. So you can go ahead and make your comment on generally what you think about the guests who came and what's your take on it.
Okay. Yeah, so I will just touch on the Osibanjo aspect. So you see, what people think is that they are really touched by that he was touched by the fact that ministers are not bold to call out this or that or that. Yeah, he's not bothered. You know, he's just among the people who are happy with the situation of Nigeria. They live in choice places. They never want Nigeria to change. So, they want the people to venerate them every time, calling them prof, calling them sir, giving them all due respect, bowing down to them. They live in choice places in Banana Island, VGC, what have you. They are not interested in Nigeria moving forward. If they were interested, he would have done something. Throughout the years, he was a servant to Bola Tinubu. All right. Because he didn't start today, to be involved in government. He was in the Lagos state government, very much involved. He played a key part in most of the things that happened there. That a lot of things happened during the 8 years of Bola Tinubu and even after that. So, and he was very much involved. So he doesn't care about the suffering of Nigerian citizens. So if you think, for people that thought that, when he was running mate, he was going to be running mate to Buhari, that he was going to effect some changes, they were just delusional. And they were all just people that wanted Jonathan out, maybe because of his tribal leaning, basically. So back to what the guests say, which is even related to this, because I did ask him why he was very keen on advising Bola Tinubu, despite the fact that the process that brought him to power was very much flawed, and he tried to defend himself. What position was he actually looking for? Because we've seen, very well how these people operate. They come out and try to sell the dummy to whoever, the undiscerning people, not me, that they care about the plight of Nigerians, whereas they're just looking for position. And tomorrow he might be made an ambassador. And the next thing, he turns around to say that Nigeria is a paradise, that people complaining are just people wasting their time, and people demarketing Nigeria, which is what they now bandy about. This evening, yeah, I stumbled on one group on TikTok, where they were discussing tribe. They've turned everything. Even some of these our politicians that appear on TV on Arise, or what, everything is just ethnic tribe, south east, south this, south that, north that. Nobody is actually talking about the poor. Even they that are in America, in the United Kingdom, saying this or that. Why are they there? Why are we there? Why are our best talents, the best talents that this continent, has produced and is producing, all flocking to, so because if things were good in the continent, we will all be, back in Nigeria or wherever, Kenya or wherever country, we all emanate from. So sometimes when they come out and start saying all these things, you should just take them with a pinch of salt, especially people that do not take a stand. Whenever someone comes out to say, "Oh, I'm not for this person," "Oh, I'm not for this person," the Supreme Court, what do you mean? If what people are doing now, this hypocrisy, is the way the so-called founding fathers, if I will call them that, it fought for independence, we wouldn't have what they misnamed independence now. Maybe by now we will still be carrying the white men on our back, so, or be polishing their shoe or something, but they took a stand. People should be able to take a stand. If you think the judiciary is corrupt, you should take a stand and say the judiciary is corrupt. If an election is rigged, you should say that this election is flawed. It is rigged. Not to say, "Oh, election has happened according to INEC official figure, blah, blah, blah. The judiciary has pronounced this." But what judiciary? See? So these people that come in and they don't take a stand, they try to peregrinate, beat about the bush, vacillate, around the issues, they just put me off entirely because they're just all hypocrites.
All
I
right.
don't believe them. So my next question would have been, where is Tone?
What
Because
is what?
Tone, Tone.
Okay. We don't know where Tony is. So.
Because since since this guy appeared here and he had so this thing, I think that was the last I really heard of him. Really, I've not seen him
Okay.
since
All
then.
right. Thank you. Coming back to you, Chim, will you say that there's something he canvassed which, if the government adapted, they will probably do better than what they are doing now? Or is it that the government, since he is a well-known figure in this government, that means that this idea he has thrown out today is not the first time they are hearing it. So how do you think he can get these ideas to the mainstream? Or is it that just the government is just out there?
He's not in government.
I know he's not in government, but he's an advisor to the government.
Is that what you learned? I didn't get that.
That's what I think.
No, but that's not. He wasn't introduced as any of those kinds of things. So I don't.
Oh well, maybe I'm the one who is misunderstanding. I thought that before he came, we were told that he was going to come because coming from government cycle.
I agree with you on that, but I don't think that is the guest. Then Rudolph said he was going to bring somebody close to government. He hasn't told us when, so I don't think this is the person.
All right, my bad. Okay, so what do you think that this government can garner from what he has been able to throw out? And there are a lot of good advice that which he has put out there.
Okay, I don't think this government is interested in associating or attracting people who are sincere. So I'm not going to sit down here and adjudicate and tell you that this government is going to, because listen, you use, how did they say this proverb? You aneji ehihe acho ewoji.
Yes.
Nabali, you cannot catch ewoji nabali. For those
know the get which is black and which is darkness.
When it gets dark, for those of us who lived in the village when there was no electricity, when it gets dark, you won't see the black goats.
The black goats.
So if you want to get the goats in and avoid wondering where the black goat is, do it before sunset falls, and then there is no before dawn. Go and get the black goat in. If you watch the appointments that this president has made, listen, this is the most truthful president Nigeria has had. The most transparent, truthful president Nigeria has had. No pretense. He told you, no be statistics we go chop. In other words, he is not interested in people who are going to come and say, listen, other governments will enter. Even if they are a bit deceptive, they will say, okay, you know what, at least let me be remembered for something. Let me go and look for people who can help me accomplish one or two things. Obasanjo went, and World Bank and Linda Chalker told her, get this person, they will help with your economy. He went and brought those people. Jonathan went and brought Adeshina and brought, before Adeshina, Yaradua brought Aganga and all the, whether they succeeded or not is a different issue. But they went and brought people who they perceived had some knowledge of international affairs and, international economy. Which person would you say this government has gone to bring? What they are doing is they are bringing
Daniel
Boala and Omokri to go to the press and be fighting for them. It tells you where the man's mind is. So to be expecting that he will see somebody of substance like this, that he will tap into and say, I just heard on that show where people castigate me every day. That their guest today, the guy seems to have an idea of how we can solve this, our energy crisis. You know what? Let me make it my a duty. Even if I perish Nigeria, but at the end of the day, electricity works 100%. The Nigerians will say, I impoverished them, but I gave them light. That's the only thing I'm going to do. Go and bring this guy. Let's see how we can work with him. That is not what this government is telling us. This government is not telling us that kind of thing. Their goals and objectives are far-fetched. Make Nigeria a one-state country, collapse everybody from ADC, PDP, CPP, anywhere, bring everybody into their fold, and just do as they like. If you haven't seen it, I am looking at it clearly. That's what they want to do. So to think that this government is going to come and listen to you and say, oh, look at those boys, those men speaking, let's go and see how we can tap this, or it's not going to happen. So I'm not going to sit down here and try to miss words and say he should tell them this. It's not going to happen.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And Mr. Ike, yes, I don't know if you want to continue on that trend, or will you want to see another way? Is there an idea that you can readily advise Tinubu's government right now that they can actually use? Because he said something that I captured, which is very key. 30 million people were moved into poverty in just one announcement on the very first day of his taking office. Do you think that we should now go back? What's your opinion? Should we now go back and reintroduce fuel subsidy, since even the money collected from Nigerians have not been useful to Nigerians?
Like Chim said, listen, Mr. Peter, since 2022 has been giving this government expo for them to be able to have a better administration. What is it that am I going to say here that Mr. Peter Obi has not given them expo what they need to do since 2022? So like Chim said, they are not after you. They don't think about you. They are thinking about 2027. They are not working for you. They are working for themselves. So there is no amount of professionals and professional advice. What am I going to give more than what Pat Tommy has given? What am I going to give? A lot of economies in different fields of life has spoken what this government need to do. Who are they listening to? Just like Chim said, they only employ their attack dogs on the social network, to attack people who to attack Mr. Peter Obi, and that's the only job they have. The only job this administration have. The only thing they have is about Mr. Peter Obi. Where how can they stop him? That's the only job they have. They don't have any other program. Check it, KJ, from Monday to Monday. It is all about Mr. Peter Obi. That is the work of APC. From national TV to national television to mainstream media to the platforms like this, it's all about one man. Even upon that, the man is giving them expo. The man is giving them expo what they need to do. But because they are not working for you, they don't want to do anything for you. They are just, the only concern is that how are we going to make sure that this man do not come out in 2027? That's all. And the idea of sending other political parties to oblivion, why are they doing it? It's because of Mr. Peter Obi. Why? The crisis you have in all the whole political party is because of one man. And now that he's playing cat and mouse game with them, they are not even sleeping. They can't sleep because they don't know what is really going on. And the man has gone to, before he had a very thick skin, but I think he has added another leopard skin to his thick skin. So this time around, they don't understand the game he's playing. He's talking to people that they never ever will ever thought he's going to talk to. He's meeting people that never ever will ever think he's going to meet those people. So listen, the young man, I wasn't following because I was doing a lot of, but I was listening. Like as I used to say, all these professors and the Ph.D, all these things, they are the people that are confusing this country. There's so much knowledge and everything. When you give him opportunity, open an office for him now to go and talk about this electricity. The next 6 months, he'll be going with about 10 cars following him as Minister of Power. So all this their professorship, all this their PhD that. They are just using it to confuse people like, the common Nigerians. They can't confuse me because I already know what their game, what their education, what they're using it for, right? He doesn't want to. He said He's not criticizing government, but he's giving them ideas on what they're going to do. Where is he going to criticize? How is he going to criticize Emiloko? He cannot do that. So listen, all these professors, academicians, all this and that and that and that, they have not even helped anybody. You know, they speak big grammars on the national television, present papers everywhere, and at the end of the day, when you give them a little job, the first thing they have to do is to turn to become politicians. And then after 6 months, they begin to steal the same money they are telling you that the people have been committing corruption. You understand what I'm telling you? So all of them are the same thing, you know. All these big grammars. I'm not moved with all these their big grammars. I am moved with practical things. I am moved with what I asked a question here yesterday. KJ, you were here yesterday. Anybody here, Chima, I'm going to send the same question to you. Have you ever since this government came to power, is there anybody from your town, your village, your kindred, anybody that you know that has benefited from all this so-called money that they say they are sharing? Is there anybody you know that has got student loan? I have been asking this question for 2 years. Nobody can give me that. Forefathers that believe in AI, I asked him yesterday. Nobody can give me anybody that said they have benefited from the money. These people are billions and billions that they're saying they're giving to poor people. But every month they're putting more people into poverty. I mean, what is it all about?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Mr. Ike, sorry, Mr. Ike. Two things. One is you can't determine who gets that money in a society where we don't have accurate data. And that's what the guest also said, where he said something to the effect that we don't have data. He made allusion that where he lives in the US, during the COVID, there was COVID funds that the US government gave to citizens because they had data. They knew where OD lives, they knew where KJ lives, and they know how many people live in OD's house and how many people in OD's house based on the plan they've made. You know, if OD's family is a family of 5, and a family of 5 means $500 for everybody there, that means that's about how much? That's about $2,500, right? Am I correct? They know that's what they need to send. In our own case in Nigeria, we don't have data. So anytime government is telling you they are doing conditional cash transfers, it's a fraud. Somebody is stealing money somewhere because we don't have data. How do you tell me who you're giving that money to?
Yeah,
but in fairness to the man, you know, let's give some of this our erudite professors and doctorate holders some benefit of doubt. Not everybody.
Before you continue, I'm not trying to belittle the man. Sorry, I'm not specifically referring to the man.
Yes,
but I'm specifically talking about because we have had so many professors. We gave your professor, the deputy president for 88, who was with a man who has turned Nigeria into what Nigeria is. What did he do today? Tomorrow, yesterday, this week, he has gone to.
Uncle Ike, that man tried though. He's not
what
perfect.
Did he try?
No, hold on. When Osinbajo was acting president, do you know why they sidelined him to the last day? He changed a few things, and as soon as Buhari came back with his bill, they removed him. They didn't allow the man to perform again. So listen, the system has a way of frustrating good hands. He went there. Remember, he didn't go there. He didn't have any political structure. He went there. He was just assigned, so he was being careful.
Yes,
that's the part I will give him.
But since he was not allowed to take any more action, what we are saying is, as now he's speaking out, why didn't he address the constituency that he's addressing now when he was in power? Why did he not speak to the church? And then, if he now has found his voice, why not start from himself? That's what.
You know, when I'm not seeing, and I heard what John Abba said about his daughter. No excuse. If there was any such thing that he did with his family, he's guilty of that. I won't excuse him. But the fact I want to let you guys know, you see, the Nigerian society and the Nigerian political system, if you're not a strong-hearted man, don't go there. Look at Peter Obi, for instance. He's not perfect, but he tried to do good. Did you see how he was? Do you know how many times that man was impeached, frustrated by his government, people in Anambra State, because he wanted to do the right thing? So you see, the Nigerian society, including some of us who are here, it's a corrupt system. Trust me, it's a corrupt system. I don't even know how we're going to clean that. The stable is not just an urging stable smelling and stinking. The odor coming out from that place can kill somebody. I'll just leave it at that so that Odi can talk.
Okay. Thank you so much. Odi, welcome. I'll come to you. I want to hear from Stay Humble before I come to Odi. Yeah, Mr. Stay Humble. The question is, he said Tnubu with just subsidy is gone through 30 million people into poverty. What are we going to do to bring those people out of poverty? Is there do you see any strategy that this government is using to bring those people out of poverty? The people, even though now they have doubled, I think about 61 million people are now into poverty, because when those people who were middle class were moved into the poverty base, then the other one became what they call what's that word now that the UN use? Multidimensional poverty.
Multidimensional.
Yes, multidimensional poverty. So the poor became multidimensional. The middle class became poor, and then those first set of rich became middle. They became poor. And not that they became, because no longer middle class. So how are we going to reverse this action? Knowing that this government took Nigeria from being the fourth fastest moving economy in the world. We are now somewhere between 12 and 13 or more, even beyond that. So what do you make of all that? How are we going to change the situation?
Okay, so for me, what I would say is that piloting the affairs of Nigeria is not rocket science. It's very basic, because we are not even right now, we are not even aspiring to develop some technology or make some giant strides in some in space science or something. We're just striving to eat and drink, and stay safe. Very basic of things, and these things are not rocket science. And for people that expect these people now that took over governments through fraudulent means to take counsel from so and so hangers on political jobbers, like the guy that came today, where I believe strongly is because he didn't take a stand. So what I would advise them to do is to resign today and say that he's sorry for taking over government, the way he did, and organize a free and fair election. If he doesn't want to give power to who really won the election, because if Tnubu comes out today and says, "Oh, he's sorry," he wants to organize a credible election, that's when you will know that these people that are making noise about electoral reform, this and that, they are all time wasters. Because if maybe Tinubu decides today that he's going to organize a credible election, the military stay aside, everybody do your job, there will be free and fair election without even all this technology we are talking about. If without even borrowing a dime from anybody, we don't need all this money. We don't need loan from EU or wherever to organize a basic election that student unions are across. Do you know how many student organizations we have in the hundreds of schools we have in Nigeria? And they organize elections without any issue. And we can't even organize election in this country. That's where it starts. And I always say that the people that have been in charge of Nigeria, puppets, I call them, are people that work hard day and night to see to it that people suffer. They work day and night to make people really, really suffer. Because if you are even president of Nigeria and you purge yourself of that wickedness, of that iniquity, of working assiduously to make Nigerians suffer and just stay in your office drinking tea and coffee, Nigerians will drive Nigeria. The state of Nigeria at this moment does not even need somebody to come out and say, we are adopting so and so policy. Just purge yourself of your iniquities. Purge yourself of those deliberate programs. Like recently, I was hearing that they want to, I think, block all the accounts of people who don't have the tax whatever code by January. These are policies. These people work day and night. They don't sleep. What are we going to do to make these people suffer? Like Buhari woke up overnight and said he was changing the color of the naira. So if these people just stay in their office drinking tea and coffee without any plan to make people, Nigerians will, drive Nigeria first of all. To put food on the table of Nigerians is not rocket. You don't need anybody to come from US to say he's advising them. What are you advising? Like someone already said, those policies and whatever, the likes of Pat Tommy, the likes of people, they have exhausted all those things. So you're going to say, oh, I want to advise. Whenever I see people doing that, I know that they are hungry. Their bank account is in red. So they are looking for ministerial or ambassadorial and wasting everybody's time. I don't know why Dr. Damages, keep on inviting those jobbers.
No, well, I need to push back on that. That guy who came here, he's not looking for a job. He has a patent. In other words, he himself is a company. In other words, he's very marketable to any company that's in energy company around the globe. So I don't think he's looking for a job from how much Nigeria are going to even pay you in the first place if you decide to go there. Remember, that was one of the problems that Okonjo-Iweala had with them, because she said, how much you want to pay me, and it became a scandal because said she should be paid in dollars. So, but having said that, I'm coming to Odi, and Odi, I'm coming to you because I want you. I don't know what your initial statement is going to be, but in the last 62 years of Nigeria existence, we have constantly fought the same thing, which is the same thing that this professor have come to discuss today. We have fought corruption, which was the reason why Zogo School was conducted. We have been fighting corruption. We have not been able to overcome it. We are fighting no water, no pipeline water, no good roads, no medicine in the hospitals. Insecurity is everywhere. No housing, no proper school. So what have Nigeria actually achieved? And do you see this government turning around even just one, I'm not saying all, just one of those shortcomings we have been fighting since independence?
Hello, everybody. It's my co-panelists and people in the comment sections and people who don't like me there. That's okay. I just wanted to, but we're going to keep speaking truth to power. I just really came to lend support to my brother, Stay Humble. I've never been on the platform with him, but he's been just speaking my mind, And I think we need more people like this to come out and call out the establishment and the system. I know KJ is a fairly fair-minded guy, I know Jim, also, but you guys have become a little bit of part of the establishment in this program, and we're coming to help you also because you guys don't want to offend your guests, and I'm sure it takes something to bring people of caliber, so to say, right? Many times you wonder what is caliber anymore. Look, but it's like when people are like, jumping all over themselves and staying on one party. Many times, I think that's why I come on this program, just to, at least, have a different view, different opinion. Because on this, I'm completely in line with Stay Humble. And, Jim was talking about Professor Shibam, and before I come to your question, because I really wanted to address the past things that have been said. And what could have been, right? And Stay Humble had been, when I was listening before I started driving, Stay Humble had talked about this man being in the 8 years of the government of Jagaban. See, many times we have to, let's even go to the draft of Lagos and of the regime of, if you look at, the man is also complicit in creating a nurturing environment for the man to do his pilfering, right? He created, for most of, we give the man credit for some of the good things he created, the laws they created in Lagos, the CDAs and everything. But he must have created a pathway for this man. He was the Attorney General, if I'm correct. He created laws that made it easy for the man to become the monster he is right now. To seize the power in Lagos, to make so what we are witnessing in Nigeria, the one-party state, Osinbajo cannot be taken out of what happened in Lagos and what is happening in Nigeria now. And when he was in the government, look, and people ask, what could he have done? Quit, resign. When many people were expecting Osinbajo to do that, by the time Buhari came back, if Osinbajo had resigned as vice president, the ripples of what that statement would have made, maybe will not be where we are right now. Nobody has had enough, balls to do that, if you don't mind my choice of language. And we're trying to deify the man. The man is absolutely part of the problem of Nigeria. These people wear a cloak of religion, and they come to the system and they tell people, make promises that they absolutely know that they have no plan that this will be fulfilled. Many people voted for Buhari because of that man. And Nigeria was thrown into poverty. And the man came and campaigned. Now he's trying to tell us what we should do. He was number 2 man in Nigeria to fix Nigeria. How shameless is that? My brothers, look, like I always say, we're probably going to die in exile, but at least we'll continue to speak truth to power. The small opportunity that is given to us here, that we know their arms cannot reach us. So let's say the truth now. Nobody will come and catch you. This man that was here today, Stay Humble, described, he's looking for something. Look, there's an amount of money you will have. Many times what people are looking for is the name and the position. Many people, their whole, whatever they want to achieve, to have that honorable minister or His Excellency, ambassador or something. So these things mean a lot to different people. I don't know. That's why I asked him, I said, my brother, I'm not sure your purpose here today, but we know that what you have been doing is whitewashing the government. How could you be whitewashing government? You're telling us what we know is no longer what we know. Starting from the Bakare, there is an Odumeje. He tried to make Bakare a comedian, and Odumeje a comedian, and Bakare an intellectual. These two people are comedians. It's a joke. And Odumeje has even taken his to a different level. He sings, and at least he entertains us, and we enjoy the game. But the other man thinks we are fools. He will go in and he will sit down in a church, and then he will be declaring what nonsense? What nonsense? In a Nigeria filled with intellectuals, and people come here to defend him. He talk about Hezekiah. What a shameless group of human beings, this country is producing. And then you talk about Tnubu. I'll say, I can't defend him. Tnubu, the governors are criminals. Tnubu is less of a criminal. You see, look, and people are listening to this, and people don't call them out like Stay Humble is, and people are talking about patents. What stupid patent? He should take his patent and patent it in his house. This kind of people, when they come here, we should call them out. So you see, if you're coming, be ready. This should be, look, we should build this platform to a place. They will say, if you go to that platform and survive, then you can go and run for government. It's not we don't come here to massage their ego and tell them how nice we are, because we have nothing to lose. What we have, we're already in exile. What do you have to lose? You know, if somebody comes, he's a Muslim, whatever, hit him, tell him the truth. You know, it's not being disrespectful. We're not disrespectful to the man. We are very polite to the man. People gave him his accolades. What we said is, don't whitewash the government. Don't tell us what we know is what we don't know anymore. How can you come and say, hold on, let me finish, please? You know, you asked the question, I have to finish. You know, you gave everybody time. Now, I was watching the show. Give me my own time. Or is it because I'm saying what you don't like?
No. Why? I mean, I'm not dog in the fight.
Yeah, so stay at the side ring. So the main thing is, this man came here and talked about Tnubu not being essentially helpless. I said, this man, they are saying, is the most intelligent politician. Be scared of this man. The man suspended a governor just for quarreling with his godfather. Where there are Boko Haram has taken over states. Even if he suspended the governor of Imo State, where they took over a local government, we'll say, okay, maybe something. The man, there was no problem in River State. He suspended. He's not saying, oh, this man has no power. He can't do anything. He wants to win election. The man came here to campaign. He came to put in a good word. He said, let me now. He's selling himself. Call him out. It's a shameless thing. And the problem in this country, sometimes Sophia says this, though I don't agree with the way he says it. Our intellectuals are part of the problem. People who live, all this tribalism that we are doing, it's even the people living in the West that are most responsible for it. They have sectionalized themselves. They stay in a country whereby they have 24-hour electricity, but they are there, selling props to people who are at home, the young children that they should be models for. Well, going back to your question, about what Tnubu can do. Look, I'm an eternal optimist. I try to stay objective in things. I've said many times. I don't personally, I know some people don't agree with me on this. I am not a believer in democracy, especially in Africa where we are. I always believe that, if Nigeria gets a benevolent dictator, however we get it, that we may be able to progress. That's what they have in China. That's what they have in the Middle East, in UAE and all these guys. Folks, leaders who are, patriotic, they love their country, but they are not going to let you have free speech 100%. But look, and people are able to enjoy, the goodness of their economy without saying everything, bad about the government. But now, if Tnubu changes today and becomes a good president for the next 2 days and the next 2 years and delivers whatever you call the dividends of democracy, people like me will go back and vote for him. Because what we want, I don't think is a good man, and I'm not expecting to vote for an angel but what we want is who will make our country better. We love our country. If Tnubu decides to, that's where I differ from Stay Humble. I say he's the leader now. Let him go back, start doing the good things that we want the country to do. He can remain there forever. I don't care. Here's the problem. When Tnubu was coming, one of the things that we thought that he will focus on making Nigeria, making it more of a confederate state, because that's what he always preached. He said he does not believe in Nigeria. It's a very well-known, documented fact. He said, and the man probably does not, but he loves the accolades of government. He loves the props. He loves everything that's now he's using. Nigeria is more, Tnubu is about the most powerful president we've ever had. One of the things I wished, even after he rigged the election, was that at least Tnubu will be able to break up the strength of the unitary government we have and allow the regions to start developing. The only thing he has done is to give Lagos more stuff. And there is no hope. The only hope that I had is we knew, that Tnubu was never going to be a good president. You can't rig an election and go and do good things. You know, history is littered with that. You can't steal something and use it for good. But you would have hoped that at least legacy that he will leave is break up this unified system we have and give us a more balanced federal government. Let people be autonomous. But look, okay, he wants to win an election, and this is where we're going to land. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I want you to know that Tnubu have not given up the idea of breaking up the country. Mark it, take it from me. That is one of his cards. When it becomes impossible to come back to power, that card will be thrown in at the last minute. And just like we said on this panel, which some people sometimes don't, give too much attention. We said here that Mickey was going to come to the center and do whatever he's doing. So I am for one who comes to this platform almost every week. I'm not surprised with whatever is going on, and I appreciate your contribution. And I want you to know that we don't bring people here to help them whitewash the government, but we also want to give them the benefit of say we respect their positions, and because it's also difficult to get some guests that are notable to this platform. So we want to also accord them that, because some guests have left and told their friends who are supposed to have come the next week that don't go there, these people just insult you for nothing. So, and then you see, if I were them also, I would take the position, because to get a PhD is not easy. If you doubt me, ask him. It's not an easy thing. So if somebody has gone to that point to be having a PhD and comes here and have done a lot of work around the world and we just talk to the person anyhow, it doesn't tell well. So that's why sometimes when you guys are up,
I push back there. I said this man was
never
insulted.
It's not you now. Not you now.
No, I'm saying nobody insulted. Everybody was polite to this man. And many of us have more educational qualities than him. So don't even go there. But we are all floor members and we comment. But, what he is, and he should just stay there.
All I'm saying is, if you become our guest, we will accord you the same thing. So it's not whether he's the one who has all the degrees or not. Whoever the person is, will accord you the same respect, because it is out of respect for the platform that you came. And if these people go to CNN, nobody's going to call them to begin to ask them those kind of things. They don't give you open lines. It's for a reason that those who don't give you open lines, just like we give here, we can equally bring the guy and interview him, and then at the end we'll shut it down and say, okay, if you have your response, write it in. But we want it to be interactive so you can ask your question. Well, even doing that, we'll have to recognize that these people are individuals by themselves. They are authorities by themselves. So let's also accord them that civil understanding. Because whatever we say on this platform, we're not going to change it. But here is my brother, John Abba. He must have come back because he had something to say. And you heard what Odi, my brother, said.
Sorry, KJ.
Yes, sir.
I remember something I want to ask Odi before I forgot. Please, if you can allow me.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
My brother Odi, are you from Anambra State? Sorry.
Anambra, no, I'm not.
No, okay.
He's not from the.
No, I'm not actually. But I'm closer to Chim than he knows.
Okay.
I'm closer to Chim than he knows.
Let me not say anything more then.
Don't say anything. I have you're on that other platform. We'll talk. Me and you will have a lot of things in common.
Okay.
Don't tell me anything.
No. You know very soon. Yeah, but
all right. Let's go to my brother. At least me and Jonaba will come from the same place.
Sorry, I asked that question because I am appealing to my brothers from Anambra State. Please, this professor you have at Anambra State government has never come back to the state house. I don't care who comes back, but this man with the APC candidate, Okachuku, these two people should not near the government house of Anambra State. Any other candidate they have in Anambra can win the election. But if it's this professor that you have there, if you allow this man to come back again in Anambra State, sorry.
All right, thank you. And I think we'll have to hold a program on Anambra State, really. We'll have to hold a program because I've never seen this kind of professor, even though I have never had any confidence in him. But I think the man is losing it every day. But let's not make it a topic today. Jonaba, you have heard all this response, and some people agree with him that he and Stay Humble have said the things that we have been afraid to say. Do you agree with them? Are we treating the man with kid gloves, or
If my brother Ode could have put on gele, he would look beautiful.
Okay.
Um, uh, now the thing that everybody is entitled to their opinion, and we all just say things that speak truth to the power. There's nothing wrong if he use this as an avenue to advertise himself and get a position to deliver. It's okay if that is the case, if that is it, that's fine. He's knowledgeable about what he's doing. And like I've said, there are many Nigerians that want to go back home, and many have gone back home and get frustrated, even being called by the government to come and serve under them. But things couldn't go the way they thought, and they went back to their various places. So don't have a problem with him if he's not talking, if he doesn't have a knowledge of what he's talking about, then we can question that his political affiliation or whoever he want to be or support, that's left for him. I don't believe that the politics we have in Nigeria, and that's one thing I can share in common with OD, that I don't believe in all of these people. I believe we need more radical hand to change Nigeria, that all these party, whether APC, PDP, ADC, and all of those things, is people coming to make them for themselves. It's not taking the country anywhere. We need someone with ideology and say this is the way we are going. It's going to be tough. We have war against indiscipline by Buhari and Idiagbon. I believe if they continue in that part, and that is the part of Buhari you should know, Buhari is a man that walked behind the scene. If that time that Buhari was a president with Diagbo was doing most of the thing, and the whole thing was. This is what some people were expecting, that this guy, the vice president, was going to check and balance. Like some Christian voted because they think he's a Christian and Muslim. People have their reason to vote like that. But I personally don't care whether you are a Muslim or Muslim ticket or Christian ticket, or you are a traditionalist. All I want is that let Nigerian work for everybody. Have the rule of law, enforce it, come. And I disagree with him on area of the president have no power to do anything. Country when Obasanjo came to power, there was no constitution. When Obasanjo come the first time. There was no constitution in 1999. Before then, there was a, so it does. And Nigerian president can be one of the most powerful president on earth. Whatever they want to get done, they can get it done. So I don't believe that you are trying to. So the government now they can follow the rule of law on this side, and they cannot do it on the other side. That the governor can always do something, and the president script, not Nigeria. Not Nigeria. Nigeria, anything you say in Nassau Rock goes, whether you like it or not. So it's not Nigeria he's talking about. Nigeria that we all know. Is the way he's looking for second term, the way the governors also are looking for second term. If that is the case, that is not the case. Is the and I understand is trying to work on the fine line. It's okay. Uh, it is what it is. You ask, what can we do? 30 something thousand been thrown into poverty, and by now it's supposed to be 60 something. What we can do is what we are doing. The knowledge is very powerful. When you talk about subsidy, many Nigerians, millions of Nigerians doesn't even know what is subsidy. You have to be a little educated to say, oh, subsidy is when government subsidize whatever you are getting. And that's why the people who foresee a lot say that ordinary Nigerians in remote areas, in villages and all of that, what they can benefit from, even if not then directly, will be their children going back to school, is the fuel subsidy that in one way or the other, the ordinary person will benefit from it. And that's why that one was a very popular thing. So we need to educate Nigerians. This is your basic human right. In my suggestion in Nigeria to start cleaning up, All Nigerians need to have guns, so we all respect each other on the street. All Nigerians, we need the gun. Government is not protecting us, so we all need gun. When you no Nigeria, black people don't want to die, oh, even though they're the one that believe in heaven more than any other people. The ones, if you have gun, I have gun. You respect my boundary, I respect your boundary. Police will not harass you anyhow. Soldier will not harass you anyhow. If you want to why did they want it? All the governors, senators, and all of that, even rich Yahoo guy, who did they protect themselves with? It's the police. They are the one that they protected. Ordinary Nigeria is open to anything to happen to them. So let all Nigeria have gone. Let us, all of us, remain and respect each other until things work. You cannot just come and take me for granted in my own house while I live in a civil society. That's what I'm looking forward to see, a radical change in Nigeria. Whatever the political party you or individual you are, those are entitled to it, but I don't think that's the way out for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janaba. I really appreciate your input. Yes, so Chim, do you have any follow-up on those things that they've spoken, especially Odi and Janaba so far?
Yeah, so I mean, we're talking about Professor, right?
Yes.
I still want to cut him some slacks. There were areas Professor didn't do well. And I mean Professor, Pastor, Vice President. That's the person we're talking about, right? So I still want to cut him some slacks. See, when it comes to politics, it's difficult to find anybody who is pristine, clean. It's difficult. If Prof had run for president and had won APC's nomination, and I was in a position to vote, I would vote for him. I had my issues with him. I agree when certain things he should have resigned and all those things. But again, sometimes while I am a critic right now, I also caution myself because I do know that when you're in office, a lot of dynamics we don't see sometimes. It's good that we hold them accountable. I'm not saying we shouldn't hold them accountable or speak up. We should. But there are dynamics in government that sometimes, especially the Nigerian governance structure, there's just something about it. The people I blame are people in those political parties who were, what do you call kingmakers, who, I still, when I wake up every morning and I see Tnubu, I still shudder. I still shudder and I'm still saying, so this guy is Nigeria's president. I'm not kidding you guys. This is 2 years into his tenure. Every time I see him and they say, welcome president, I say, really, this guy became Nigeria's president. Because I think when you have people like Prof, listen, let me be honest with you guys. I know leadership is not about finesse per se and well-spokenness and being cerebral, and I know, and then there's more to governance than that. But I'm beating my chest to tell you, on a good day, if you place Peter Obi and Prof, I will probably vote for a Prof. I'm being honest. But with what I know about Peter Obi now, he is a good candidate for president because of his capacity to perform. He knows what the issues are. He is not coming there on the pedestal of any godfather or anybody. He will be coming there based on his own resources and on a track record. That's what we need. A lot of people who come to governance in Nigeria come with a baggage. What is the baggage? Obasanjo came with a baggage as in 1979 as a military leader. Why? He was not supposed to be the president, but his principal died and they pushed him in there. So there was a northern cabal that, quote and unquote, back then he was afraid of. When he came back in 1999, there was people who went and brought him out from prison because they wanted him to be the president. So he didn't have any structure. So you find out when you don't have that kind of thing, you dangle and dance towards different spheres. Even Buhari could not muster the votes to become Nigeria's president until he aligned with Tinubu's ACN from the Southwest. So there were certain things he could do, could not do. He he couldn't probe certain things and all those things. There are always, when it comes to politics, there are always, but when you come in based on your own resources, like in the American system, you are not coming in because of any interest group that pushes you in. You're able to do what you want to do. That's one thing we need to observe about politics. So someone like Professor Oshibajo does not have that leverage. He is going to depend on certain people to prop him. And which is why I said, go back and check. The first time Buhari went AWOL was sick in London. This man did some things. He changed a few things that shook that so-called cabal. That's why as soon as their principal came back, they sidelined the man. They didn't allow him to do anything anymore. So I want us to cut some of those slacks. It doesn't take away if there's any corruption that we find. Maybe like John Abba said, his daughter was found to be with certain amount of cash that she can't explain. That we can deal with that. But the truth about the matter, you see this governance, the dynamics is beyond what you and I can discuss here. We can come out here and judge and say anything. When the rubber hits the road, then you will realize that there are certain things in governance that is beyond this analysis we come to make here. There are certain power brokers somewhere that you suddenly, even your president won't come out and tell you what is going on at the back. So that's just the much I want to say. But I think the man, he was genuine when he came out and spoke against those Christian leaders and whatever. And you know, sometimes give a man, cut him some slack. Sometimes maybe he has gone back to realize some of the mistakes he made and is able to speak now, you know. But when he was in office, like Dr. Ruben Abati will say, when you have yam in your mouth, you can't talk.
But that's the problem we have in Nigeria. All of them used to have yam in their mouth, and they only talk when they leave. So how then are we going to go forward in a society that the leaders are always having hot yam in their mouth? You know, and it's disheartening, really. And I don't know how Bro Ike is going to come in, but here is a situation with all. In fact, I was in primary school, I think, when Ape Aku was in government. The reason why Ape Aku of Benue State then came into governance was because of his, no stand for corruption, and he wrote a very powerful petition against, the governor then.
Sorry, okay? KJ, just to make you laugh. Somebody says that you and me should go and run for senator in Abia State.
Look, you see, that is what we have been discussing here. That's what you just threw in right now. If Jonaba wants to run right now, they will finish his money, and they will still not give him the position. So they've made it such a way. I have a friend in England who wanted to run for a House of Rep and came from England. Okay, we all know of Dr. Chidi who wanted to run for governorship of Anambra State. And despite everything, these people will just mess you up big time. These people did everything to frustrate him. At the end, both of them have to leave and go back to their base. They know what they are doing to the country. They know they don't want us to move as fast as we want to move. So what will be the system that we can use to beat them? Because now they've said, if you want to run for president, you must have offices in 774 local government. You must have at least 4 staff. You must at least have furniture in the office. You must at least have food soldiers. Who will have all that? And how much are you going to budget to be able to do that? And they've made it in such a way that there is no open primaries. If you are like open primaries where people if for instance, if you are running under APC and they come for primaries, it will be people in the street. It will just be like another normal election. If you're a member of a card carrying a member of APC, you can come and vote. Then it will be difficult for them to read it. But they've made it such a way that it's electoral college and they have delegates who can come. Those are little numbers of people who can easily be bribed to keep repeating and bringing in the same people over and over again. Mr. Ike, how do we change the system? Because those who are controlling the cow are the same people holding the horn. So how do we now change? They are milking the cow and some of them are holding a home. How do you now take them off this system and change the system that we now, the ordinary Nigerian, can determine who governs them and who they get in place to represent them?
I believe the first step is to belong, be a party member, become a party member, register to be a member of a political party, pay your dues, attend the meetings, get involved in whatever they are doing. It is through that gradual process that we can be able to change the system. Like we said, we are not looking for an angel. We are looking for somebody who can be able to do, at least who will have the conscience, the conscience of, or the conscience of trying to work for Nigerians. We are not expecting 100% result, but we're expecting 100% effort. So I think it is the involvement of all of us that will be able to change that tide, because the problem that has been, like as I said yesterday, we all say that it doesn't concern me. I don't want to be a politician, or it's a dirty game. Oh, I'm not ready to do this bidding they are doing. We cannot change those systems from outside. We have to be inside that system to be able to change it. Example of what is going on, or what has been the way it's supposed to be. I take the case of Labour Party, which most of us, which I'm really involved in 2022 and 2023. Why is there a crisis in Labour Party today? Because Abure, the chairman, and his executive wanted to maintain the old status quo. And Peter Obi is telling you, no, you cannot be preaching character and capacity and this, and you also still practicing it inside house. No, it has to change. And that's the problem, because they don't want the new people to come in. They felt that the obedient members are coming to take over their positions. But I don't think that any of them was born with that position in their head. They didn't come out from their mother's womb carrying executive member before even they became executive members. Some people were there before they came in. So why is it too difficult for you to understand that what you got in 2023, if they have followed the normal process, by now we should be talking about Labour Party having about 10 million registered members in Nigerian politics. But you can see, because when they decided that it's not going to be like that, a lot of people walk away. But those who decided they're not walking away, they are still fighting over it. And that change is what they're trying to put. But it's not going to be easy. KJ, it's not going to be easy. But we know that change is going to come. But it's going to come with a price. And that is the price that that's the price that Mr. Peter Obi is paying right now. That's the price Alex Oti is paying. That's the price. Those people who want those things to be the way it's supposed to be, they are paying the price. But they are not afraid to pay the price. And that is why we are sticking our neck. Because if we don't stick our neck with them, trying to back them up, so that change we are looking for, that system that we want to correct, how do we correct it? Because most of us who live in diaspora, for example, most of us might not want to go back to, get involved to play that politics. But there are other ways we can play the politics, which almost all of us are doing, playing that politics. So I think that change is possible. But we have to believe that it's not going to be easy. It's not a race or what they said, but it's a marathon. So you can see what fighting to make things right. Okay. You can see the price of fighting to make things right. So it's not going to be easy for people, because by the time these people now have realized, it's like Nigerians are becoming to be interested in this politics that we have taken as our own life business. That's why you see what is going on in the political space in Nigeria right now. But my only advice is that we are not giving up. Because the moment they discover that we are giving up, The moment they see that we are frustrated, that's what they want. They want you to complain. They want you to get angry. They want you to abandon it and walk away so that they will continue. But we are not walking away. We are not that. If I get angry, it will give me the more strength to continue to push because I need that change for my children and my grandchildren. So I'm not going to stop. You see, so that is why that is the only way that we can be able to bring that change, because nobody was born a saint, and we are not looking for Jesus Christ to rule Nigeria or to go into politics, because people, each and every one of us, we were not born a saint. None of us can say that we have not done something wrong before, or we don't know what doing wrong is. But because we have realized and understand that even though we decide to do the right thing, that we can still be successful in life. We can still change life. We can still touch many lives. And that is why most of us have decided that it is better to live a good life, right? And show people that living a good life and doing something that is right is more beneficial to a lot of people. We are not fighting for ourselves, making it the country good. We are not doing it for ourselves. For example, how many of us is living in Nigeria? If there is running water in my village or in my town, or there is good road, or there is 24-hour electricity, am I there? I'm not enjoying it, but they are the people that are enjoying it, and they will stop disturbing me and you. They will stop calling my phone, and they stop calling your phone. But because the system is not working, we are not there, but we are there. You see the point? That we will continue to fight for that change, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm coming to my brother John Naba. And John Naba, I have a serious question for you. Now, this is the second time that our executive president, the man called Bola Tinubu, will not be coming to attend the UN conference. Last year he didn't come. This year he didn't come. The UN conference is a conference of heads of state where you can easily meet people and have a sideline, as they call it. Sideline is that you hold meetings on the side. Now, again, why most countries' president come, not because of the conference itself, but that's why you can easily hold meeting with other presidents. You don't need to go to their countries. Now, he has missed the second time. And if you see, one of the things that happen when you send your vice president, that other countries do not want to meet with your vice president because they don't think anything is going to, because whatever you discuss the vice president is subject to what the president is going to agree. Now, people are saying that he's not coming because he knows that if he comes to New York, he will not go back as he came. I don't know if you are listening to me, Jonaba.
Yeah.
Okay, so people are saying that he's scared of coming because they will be arrested for all his crime in the US. Do you agree with them? That's why he's not.
No, I do not agree with that one. There is nothing to that. I think it has to do with his own way of doing things and the waste of our resources. Because normally he was supposed to come. By the way, so uh, there was all arrangement for his coming, even other ministers to come. Uh, for whatever the reason may be, I don't think it's related to his being afraid to be arrested. As a president of a country, uh, the way it is, it's not easy to be arrested in this part of the world. Even if we talk about the past, when he was here, after that, I don't think that is the reason why he did not come. Meanwhile, there may be other issues that allow him not to come, but it's about the waste. And the purpose of coming, like you said, is to ability to is give you the opportunity to meet with other presidents, make a deal, and build more strong alliance. Because it's not about that speech in the podium of the UN, but you meet other people instead of, and you meet them in number. Instead of you say, I'm going to Saudi Arabia, you meet them there. Your team, yeah, they arrange all those things for you, meeting upon meeting from here and there, and all those negotiations. It gives you that opportunity to make a deal and cut the expenses of you flying, going with the convoy, people to go to other country. This give you to meet maybe 10 to 15 people, country ministers, president, all of that, so that it give you that opportunity to do that. So for whatever the reason why I don't believe is because he's gonna get arrested. I just believe it's a missed opportunity for whatever the reason may be, and it's also a waste of resources because I believe those people, they already book hotels, they already have all those things, but just our system, our government is full of waste, and the worst part of it, the ordinary Nigerian that they are talking about, that are giving how many millions or billions of naira going to homes that I don't think whether it's a ghost house, or maybe it's the people that are building the Korea Atlantic, that they are giving that money to develop their place. But I don't think such money is floating in Nigeria among any family. So I think if we will be pushing and keep on talking through to the power, they should avoid the waste. The weight of our governance is too much. Even this UN, in as much as people may look at it, they also the positive aspect of it on Nigeria. Other country will come with three, four people. Nigeria will come with plane full of people, and all of them will have hotel room. It's another waste when they come like that. If you go and see their team, in most cases, Nigerian team will be more than any other thing. And these are the things you see in Abuja when president is traveling abroad. You will see governors and ministers come to say bye bye to him, like when we are going to primary, when we are leaving home to school in the secondary school in those days, and people are going, you say bye. Or when you see plane pass, you say buy me bread or bread that you never get. So line up, people line up to. I don't know who teaches that is a way, and that kind of ego of we bring to leadership is a complete waste. And until we realize as a person and we reduce this, even if somebody want to honor you to certain level, tell them don't put me in that place like I'm God. Please reduce it. I'm a human being like you. Instead of you see governors and ministers will come and when president is going, they line up to say bye bye. It's so childish. Yeah, I don't know who teach that that is the way to respect the president. Or say everybody is just looking to, and there's no. This is the reason why the country will be more. They are making themselves one party system because everybody just they don't have a stand. They don't have a principle. They just everybody go for whosoever that is in power. No principle, nothing. I'm standing on. I say no. I'm not going to be part of this, and it's a shame. But come to your point again. I don't believe that. If that is the case, I believe it has to do with this issue, and to some extent, I think it's a blessing that it did not come because it's a lot of waste here and there. Now that the book hotel, some of them, and some the reason that did not come because of the convoy. Too, it's the same money, but who are they saving the money for? It's for themselves. It's like Peter. It's like Peter we say he only come to Abuja with one security officer, and who is the other money being saved for? So I don't want to get on like now.
All right.
So let's go.
Thank you, Jonaba. And I want to correct. I said he has not come. He has come. He came for the 78th session that was in September 2023. So he has been here once, and yes. So that's the other correction there, Mr. Ike. What is in us trying to pave a way? Is there any advice you want to canvass for what we heard today or for the government in the way to help alleviate the suffering of Nigerians. Because as we know, they are saying that by next year, despite the fact that there's no subsidy on oil, they are still going to be charging you tax when you buy gasoline. Should we continue to look forward to that, or is it too much? What should the ordinary Nigerian be looking forward to at the end of this year?
First of all, we were told that the man in Asoroku from France, you go to London, from London you go to United Nations, right? And all of a sudden he went back to Nigeria. I don't have a preview of why he's not going. My brother John Abba was talking about waste. Your vice president is going, right? And with the other people, they still the same waste. So which waste they are going to waste at the United Nations will be greater than the waste they have been wasting for 2 years. So when they are going, you have more than 30 exotic cars on the road at a time. You know, so whatever be the reason why he's not going, personally myself, I do not care, because doctor asking me about what are we going to do, or what Nigerians expect. Listen, KJ, but say it here. I am only concerned in Nigeria about the people that God give me the grace to help in Nigeria. I don't care about what the government in Nigeria does, because they don't have a government. I'm only concerned about the few people that I can be able to touch their life. That's what keeps me, that's what keeps me late at night. And those little people that are, even if it is 5 cups of rice that I can afford to give a family, that's my concern. It's not about this. I am one of those people, I never check. I don't recognize we have a government in Nigeria. So for me to ask me what is in tax this, I'm not interested. I'm only interested in trying to help the people that I can reach out, right? Because the responsibility of government is to take care of the people. And when a government tax roads, Nigerians will go and give a governor a chieftaincy title because he tarred the road. What is his responsibility? When a government build a hospital, we go and give him a chieftaincy title because is he building that hospital with his money? Why was he assigned to become governor of a state? His responsibility is to provide those things for the people. Where each and every one of us is living. How many times do you, when they tie your road or they give you something, you go and celebrate the man, your representative, you go and celebrate it on national television. And we are better to do ceremony for him because he did what he was paid for to do for the people. So but in Nigeria, the criminals that are in leadership, if they provide the pipe-borne water, if they provide water, people will be celebrating. I was looking at one representative from House of Assembly, House of Representative. I don't know whether it's from somewhere in the southeast. I saw him. He was giving a man that is almost about 70 years wheelbarrow and shovel. And I am asking a man that is about 70 years, what is he going to do with wheelbarrow and shovel? Because this is the craziest part of what is going on. And tomorrow people will be clapping to him. No, we are going to vote for him. He's a good man. You are giving an old man as about 75 years with the wheelbarrow and the shovel and knife. Oh, which means you do not have any program for that old man. The man that by now you're supposed to be looking after him. You are giving him wheelbarrow to go and push yam in the market. Go to yam market where women are buying yam so that they'll be pushing the yam. And when they ask you, they say you provided your constituency money, you provided amenities to your people. Your former governor in Abia State, did you not see the road? He said the third had broken into two. The road, he said he used his money to do for Abia people. One area, the road is, when you see the road, you see under the asphalt, it is just red sand. There was nothing that can tell you that this is supposed to be a road. They are asking your former governor, he said why they didn't tie road because of evil spirit. Your former, he said because of evil spirit they didn't tie the road. But the present governor has started that road that evil spirit could not allow them. Listen, KJ, Nigeria is a joke. You understand what I'm telling you? That country is just a joke. And people will be clapping to these people when they are saying all these things. Understand what I'm telling you? So, if that representative who go and give a man of about 75 years wheelbarrow and shovel and knife, what are you leading that man? You are not leading him into his grave. He's supposed to be in pension by now. He's supposed to be receiving government pension. But now you are giving him wheelbarrow and shovel and knife. And when you go, when they ask you, you say you spend 100 million in providing for your constituency. My brother, Nigeria is a joke.
Thank you so much. You made us laugh today. Mr. Jonaba, you want to go or should I ask Paul? Because Paul has come.
Go for Paul. Paul is very fresh and I've not seen my brother for a while. So let him have some talk.
Okay, Paul, why you also address this issue, you will lead us into probably the topic we're going to use to close today, which is the fact that Nigeria government have been able to discover how to negotiate with terrorists and get them to convert to be responsible citizens. I don't know if you've been following the story, and there have been two successful ones. Unfortunately, one of the successful ones, related last 2 days, and there was casualty. So I don't know if you also want to speak to that, but you can give us what is in your mind before coming forward to go into that other topic.
Well, I think the first thing that comes to my mind, first of all, good evening to everyone. The first thing that comes to my mind while I laugh, it's just not fair the way Mr. Hike is just attacking your former governor like that. Mr. Hike, why would you attack Ipiazu? Somebody who give you people KFC and Chicken Republic. Eh?
That former governor is worse than Bakinzuo of those days of Kano State. Is worse than Bakinzuo. The one who said government money in government house, you say problem there?
They asked him, say, what are the two remarkable things that you can think in your government? He said, I give you people Chicken Republic and KFC.
Yes.
KJ, at least if you reach Nigeria now, you don't go miss KFC. KFC, they your town.
Yeah.
Now your governor give you.
That's what he brought.
My brother Paul, somebody, a governor of a government of a state is telling you why he didn't do a lot is because of evil spirit. I mean, can you imagine the story that Nigerians will sit down and listen, and people will be clapping for him? These are the people that are supposed to be put in a zoo with the monkeys and chimpanzees.
No,
but, understand what I'm telling you?
But Ike, the people, I'm from Abia. The people of Abia never clapped for him. In fact, we were dissatisfied with him throughout the time he was there. I remember that this guy is from Aba, and he wasn't even able to do a facelift of Aba. Okay? So what we are simply saying is this. We were not in support, and we know that he didn't win the election, but the power that we put him there, it was Alex Otti. That's the second time Alex Otti, this is the second time Alex Otti is winning election. Because I was close to what was going on in Abia State at that time. Everybody wanted Alex Otti, but at the end of the election, this man came back, to come and give us KFC and Fanta and Coca-Cola. That's what he did. And, so you begin to wonder how he managed to even, because he has his Dr. Ogeze Ikpazu. Okay? How did the doctorate come? If he's normal doctor, then how did he pass the exam? Because if you think that mineral
educated plus businessman, you will expect a lot from him. You understand? But look, see, it's just painful. Yesterday, I said something yesterday. Yeah, this question that you asked me, Mr. Hike, is here. When Concern was saying, I said it just coincidentally that it is only my people from the Southeast, the Igbo man, happen to be the abnormal people, because the new normal is abnormal and the new abnormal is normal. Every region negotiates from all these bad people, whatever. It is only the Igbo man. You understand? When you look the Niger Delta, when they kidnap people, Jensi Boria and the likes, Edwin Clark, they'll go pick them with the militants, the governors, and every other thing. So, but when Peter Obi stand up and said, I never see Nnamdi Kanu before, I never spoke with him, I don't have his number. And that is, to some extent, it is synonymous to very many of my Igbo people and every other thing. They don't deal with people like that. But guess what? Every other region deal with that. You talk about the South where I'm from, you talk about the Southwest. Thank God, KJ is a journalist. You remember Gani Adams, you remember Frederick Fashion. You understand? Not so long. Sunday Igboho is back and every other thing. So when you look every region, they do that and every other thing. As stupid as it could be, it now looks like only the Igbo people who don't really do that, you understand, happen to be the people that they even punish them. You understand that why would I not fight for our own bad person, even though we call a bad person? Why would I not fight for our own bad person when I can't want us to release them? You can imagine. So they make you create monster, then the people will stand behind him. You understand? So it's tiring when they ask that question. I say, look, every region do that. The highest title in Yoruba land is the Arakan Kofo, which Gani Adams has. Abiola was the one that had the title before. You understand? Even when that title wants to go out, they were saying Tnubu deserved the title more than Gani Adams and was given to Gani Adams. What did the government, and using, because it is government that gives these people all this name. You understand? Militants, kidnappers, terrorists. It is the government that prescribed them that. So if government prescribed them that, then it's obliged for us to call them that. But they negotiate with all these people. Asari Dokubo dropped out from University of Calabar. He owned a university. You understand? He owned a big title. Tom Polo become king. This is somebody who won't, you understand, take off a human head and show it in the whole world and everything. He's a king. You understand? It's just, I can't explain this thing more than this, other than it's just our normal and everything. It is painful, it is shameful. But another thing that we'll see, sometimes I feel for the government, and like if I want to blame somebody, let me deviate a little bit. Like the way I will blame somebody like Goodluck Jonathan. See, Jonathan lost that election, KJ, you know very well, because of the international community, because of the lives of somebody like Barack Obama. You all know these things. And he was there, they were pressing him. He can't talk. He left power. He was still scared of talking. When he talked with parable for you to go decode it. For people like us that don't have work, who start to analyze all his word and try to decode it. They are so scared. My brother, if you don't see 2 Oyibo man for your village or 2 China man for your village, it's just a matter of months. Fight will start coming. I feel for the Northern, because the Northern, they have double jeopardy. The one who is coming for cocaine, lead, battery, whatever. And the one who is coming for farm, for John Abba, Domot there, where they come for GMO. They also coming. And they'll create a fight so that people will leave the land for them to work. Anywhere you see these people, that's where you see problem. And these people will come with good face. You remember how Buhari put, Buhari put no flight zone in Zamfara that have no airspace. But we all know how people from UAE, Dubai, you understand, will give them ammunitions and gold is going out. How much revenue do we make from gold? Nothing. You understand? And they say Zamfara have a lot of gold reserves. So when you look all these things, these are problems. That's why you see some of our soldiers, like we give them this sweet name, gallant soldiers, couldn't do anything. You understand? Because power from above just says, shut up, make money and live there. You understand? Their hands are tied. We are not ready to fix our country. That's what Mr. Hyde is talking. We are not ready. Tinubu talking about going to United Nations, not like anybody who arrest him. He has been here before. Nobody will do anything. He's playing the card what the people really want, so they don't have any problem with him. I just think maybe those shame of if he comes there, those protests that people like Showore will gather people to go protest and shame him and everything. You understand? Then so when they send a stooge down there, then they'll come back and say, you misquote me. That's not what we say. You remember the Speaker of the House, when they say one thing, somebody represent him, then later I come and say, no, we did not ask him to go do these things. So these are strategy. They go somewhere, they send a spare tire to go represent. And when spare tire come back, say, no, I don't remember the last time I drive Rimo. Now alloy wheel now they use, not the rim they use. My brother, these are just the thing. You understand? We are not yet ready. See, they are just living like landlord who did not raise any children because he want to build house. I see them a lot in Lagos. That small boy who struggle, would never send kids to school, would not do anything. And builders will start cursing some of us. You will don't go school, alpha our market. We have many poor landlords. Then if that man leave, you understand, never raise all his kids and build one 6-bedroom house and everything, then these kids will leave, they'll still be poor. They'll still be stressing tenants. So these are the things they are doing. The government is not ready to create new things. They are not doing anything to make more revenue. Look, what is our GDP? I always use New York City. New York City GDP is 139 billion. While Nigeria, that is New York City. Remember, I'm not talking about New York State or New York City. Now look about Nigeria. New York City is about 9 million people. You understand? Then when you look Nigeria of 250 million people, our GDP is 41 billion. A whole country. We're a poor country. Apple is richer than us. GE is richer than us. You understand? Nvidia is richer than us. One company in the United States, about 7 companies like that is richer than Nigeria as a nation. You understand? And the president is flying Airbus, is flying this, flying that, drive all these kind of armored vehicles and everything. My brother, we are not ready. We are not ready. Me and you, we just don't get work. We don't try to watch or you go film.
The question is, what makes us sit down and allow all these things fly? What makes the Nigerian people comfortable to keep moving the goalposts backwards? I
think it's simple. If I will use one small analogy, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona is the 5th largest city in America. The population of the people in Phoenix, Arizona are more than Switzerland. But do you know Switzerland as a country owns more guns than the United States? But for the past 23 years, no one gunshot in Switzerland. Do you know why? They live like one. That is their own adult toy. But what is the concept of guns in the United States? It started by for one race to be more superior than the other one. So they use it on the other one. When people started having their rights, then this one will say, when I do it, they say, oh, mental health. Now everybody now don't use mental health. It don't become all commerce affair. You understand? So the other people use it for different purposes, even do like anniversary over their gun. But we will use it on the different side. You understand? Like I said, the 5th largest city is more than the population of Switzerland. But no gunshot. For 23 years, they have more guns. No gunshot. So we are not ready, just like this gun thing. They are not ready. They are not ready to solve immigration problem. We are still not ready. You understand? And multiple things divide us. Maybe the Switzerland, they find a way together to solve their problem. Remember the way they channel themselves, 3 or 4 presidents together, kind of, the way they manage themselves together. We are not ready to do all those things. You understand? Tribe divide us, religion divide us. So many things divide us. You understand? And we are not ready to accept to say, let me leave this one the way he is. Let's leave this one the way he is. My wife, younger sister, liked this Benin attire so much. When she want to wed, she insists that she's going to wear that Benin attire. After everything, they wear the Urobo own. You understand? And she's getting married to an Urobo man. But she liked that Benin attire. She wore that thing and also wear a Urobo own. But guess what? After wedding, it become big fight. They say you are a sellout. You disgrace the Urobo people, even when she wear the Urobo. But remember, all these attires are Nigerian attire. You understand? These days, see the way you dress, KJ, like a Yoruba man. You like yourself in it. You dress like TV people. You like yourself in it. You dress like an Igbo man. You like yourself. And KJ, you find it so appealing when you see that Lebanese man dressed like Igbo man. You'll be so happy. You stand tall. When we see all these white people dressed like our Nigerian dressing in our party, be dancing this their lagbaja scatter body, we are so happy. But when it comes to ourselves, we start cursing ourselves. You be sellouts. Why you go dress like that? But stranger would dress like that. We are so happy. That is the problem. That is just the problem.
I agree with you. That reminds me. I first wore the bata, the ashoke, that one they make in bata form to my community, and nobody has seen it at that time. But instead of condemning me, they were all excited. They were asking, what kind of cloth is this? It looks like a woman's cloth. So people are coming to touch it to say, what kind of cloth is this? I was rather celebrated than, somebody saying, this is not Isiago, this is not this, that. So that was the Nigeria we grew up in. But now, just like you said, everything has been bastardized. Everything is now reduced to very myopic levels of reasoning. And that's why you can call a government official and they sit in discussion with a bandit, or rather, I don't want to use a bandit, a terrorist who has all kinds of gadgets displayed in front of him, and who also is wearing a soldier uniform, which they have been beating the ordinary Nigerian about. That's even the one that makes me so angry. You see the ordinary Nigerian in the street, you will beat him black and blue because he's wearing camouflage or wearing a cap. And then this man is sitting with you people, and they are all carrying all kinds of weapons. Nobody could say anything. In fact, what pains me the most, and I'm going to hold a special program on this, that he was even telling them, the officials of government, and the government people there, and the soldiers, and the police, that if there be any one threat to any of their persons, they will come back and finish them. And nobody said anything. So,
my question, were you know here where Tompolo, when Navy was doing Shansa for Tompolo? Come on, now.
So how do we now find an equilibrium? That's what I'm asking. That's what I want to add, because these are
don't know.
So
I don't know.
or OD or OBE may have, how can we find an equilibrium? How do we find an equilibrium? How do we now use the same measure for everybody?
Okay, brother KJ, let's start from the it's a complete failure of leadership and our people. How do you see? You've never seen um, the kidnappers that have kidnapped certain individuals, and police, army, and navy escort the family for the exchange of the money. My cousin brother have a worker from um, Indonesia, and he was kidnapped. And when they kidnapped him, they called for the ransom payment, and uh, the foreign you have to involve their embassy and all of that. And people went to the forest, and the kidnappers say they took the money from them. Army was there, police was there, other military personnel were there, and they told them to go the other side, that they should not go this side. They took the money from them. So it's the same concept of our government. They are responsible for all of these things going. It's all that is done differently in some part that some people will not tolerate it. But and this was done. I don't want to mention the area because I just don't want to get into political part of the land or any area is committed. The issue is that our government are not ready. And there was also, you have heard millions, thousands of times that kidnapper gets settled by the family that involved, and everybody know. Sometimes they come to the junction, they tell you drop the money here. Sometimes depends on who is involved. So it's the failure of leadership in our society, and the reason why the army and all of that cannot do it. We are talking about the military uh, hand are tied when it comes to the insurgency and all those evil activity carried on in our country. It's not. It's not. Their hand is not tied. They're also part of the problem because you are not a disciplined, a trained army, a trained military man. You do not take allowance to be submissive to or to the president. But this is the country where you see that for the sake of the appointment, fear. Some of them do not even have a definition of why they are there. I don't want to talk on the issue of my personal encounter with all those people in Nigerian government, in the top government, and if you have one-on-one discussion with them, their brain is upside down. They're all there for their money. Their brain, and that is when you see Nigerian is very sick. Some of the things that they discuss, if we have opportunity visiting or see them, or we meet or come around me or my place, my children and my wife will ask me, these people are in government? And I'm talking about people who are, even children, they'll ask, these people are in government, they think like this. If you see the way they praise America for everything, and what they can see, is like, this thing do not come from heaven. It's human being that did it. You have all the resources. You can do the same thing. Even if you cannot do it more, you can even copyright. You can even just do just what you see with your naked eyes. And then you see how delusional our leader is. I think they just wake up in the morning, take a gogoro, take a shot, and their heads scattered, and they go to the office and come back. We have a real problem. It's a matter of leadership. True leadership and people. We used to have army in Nigeria when they don't even take bribe. Now, nobody army have take points taking bribe. If you give in the when military was military, if they catch you and you are bribing them, they beat you now. Is it not today? You see them now, they say, go settle this person. Is it not in this country, you see police, they have ordinary citizens have a POS. If you want to, if they catch you and you say you don't have money and they have connived in the junction where they are, they have a POS citizens. So our brain are really upside down. We have a problem. We need a radical person to tell them there will be a loss of life. For Nigerians to come back in order, the fear has to be very tangible and seeable by people so that when you want to do it, Mr. B was killed yesterday. By the same thing you are trying to do. Your wife, your loved one will caution you. Hey, we are taking our children to America. I'm not going to sit down here destroying you. They will warn you. So, and those leaders will not come from these compromised people who also their hands. The first thing when Obasanjo came to power in 1999, the first person he went after was Babangida. What happened? The case died like that. Because Babangida said, start from yourself. Then in our place said that one of your finger touch oil, the rest will not deny it. These people you see today, they are ghosts. They are not human beings. These people cannot take us anywhere. We're just going to be fighting among ourselves. So why this happen, the other side doesn't happen? It's a pure leadership issue. It's not about if they have the will, the political will, and the people on top really want to hold their account. Most of all these governors and all of are they not also talk and all those say agboro? There are certain things you can't carry out because somebody will come to you and say, if you dare it, me too, I go quarter with you. You are part of us. Now you think you have army, you have everything. So the struggle is not going to. We need a strong, brutal hand and say, no, this country, no more.
Okay.
Start from afresh.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much. Yes, let me dive down to OD. Paul, hold on, sir. OD, you have heard now. Make you fire.
Yeah, sorry, I had to take a quick break. I actually do agree with John Abba in like everything he said. Then he knows I don't agree with him many times, but I do agree with him, explicitly, because when somebody says truth to power, I'm on your side. I think we've overflowed this issue. But someone mentioned Shore, so I had to come back. There's something going on. Shore is attacking. I don't know if you discussed this earlier. His friend in Abuja, the minister of FCT, Ezemo Wike. And he wrote a petition to the AG of Florida, about his properties. And I don't know, I thought that would have made like news to discuss, But, the reason I'm bringing it up is, I keep wondering, and Shore supporters may come in and help me out here. Because, and KJ may even jump in. There's something about Shore that I need to understand. How many people have done or said what Shore have said, and they are still alive in Nigeria? What is his protection? Because he seems confident that whatever he says is going to get away with it. Look, trust me, if I had an option to call everybody thief, while I'm in Lagos, I'll be happy to do that. But it seems like he's able to do it with alacrity. And when he's going to prison or cell or whatever, he will have someone to video him. And he'll pack his bag. I'm going to DSS today. He'll call police officers out and all that. People like me believe that he's just an agent. He's a stooge to confuse people and, divert attention. And even with what he's doing with, I think he's a tool in the hands of government. Don't ask me which government. It could be, Nigerian government or other folks around. Because, how come? See, we know many ministers have properties all over the world. Shore is supposed to be an investigative journalist. He has our reporters. Trust me, they know all these people. Even one of the ministers, also Minister of Aviation, he even posted himself, I think, about his house. I think if you Google his name, most of these things are online, right? You'll be able to find out property, especially I think one of the things they did with Wike is because he had like eviction notice or something. So in the United States, once you have a court, appearance or whatever, you go for litigation, it becomes public documents, right? So I think, but I'm wondering, that got me thinking, are they done with Wike? That they have asked Shore to now put him out there, because Shore goes out to do what it appears some people asking him to do, and he gets away. Because look, trust me, KJ, if you call Tnubu a criminal in Nigeria, you'll be like Nnamdi Kanu, because you never see the light of day. But the man is walking around and now doing the work for them, trying to get Wike. So I'm trying to understand. Maybe somebody that understands better than me can tell me what are they using Shore for now? Because if he wants to be a good guy and expose all of them, Tinubu's children are living in London, right? There's so many properties. All the ministers, he can call them out. The vice president, everybody, there are properties in Dubai. List them out for us to know. Why are you picking on our good minister now that is helping out in Abuja, to expose him so that,
Let me tell you why. It's Wike that went to stay the nest. Shore didn't just get up to go and attack him. Wike, he must have taken one of those, his 1940 rum, and then went to now go and call Shore's name and said that if he was the president in other places, if you say the president is a criminal, you will not leave. And he said that about the United States. Say, have you ever heard people calling Donald Trump a criminal? I say that means you're not even listening to the news in the United States, because it's every second somebody is insulting him and saying all kinds of things. So is that what he's concerned about? And I said the first lesson I learned when I came into the States was that, somebody I was working with told me, oh boy, in your country, people don't insult anybody. Here, as long as the person doesn't hit you, he can insult you any way he likes. He can call you whatever name he wants, as long as you don't hit or doesn't hit you. But when he hits you, then that's when it becomes an offense. But as for insult, he can tell you to go to hell, man, and he tell you nicely, and you can't do him anything. So now when he went there, he said that it is only here that because Tnubu is a nice man, he would have taken him out. That's what angered Shore.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Shore has no business with him. And I think he must have been drunk to have said that, because Why do you? It's just like me now. If you're in a glass house, you go and touch David or Hyundai or David Hyundai
So
or whatever.
let me understand. So
Yes.
are you saying that Sahara reporters and Sowore had all this information, but they won't put them out? They only put them out when you look for their trouble. That's what you're
No, they
saying,
have.
essentially.
Let me say this.
No, no,
Every
I think you make mistake.
no. Let me
This
even
guy,
help.
Premium
Let me help.
Times already put that out like a month ago. You understand? So Showore only just go further to petition the Attorney General of Florida. Premium Times already put out this document. So, but when Wike attack, so Showore used the next level to say, okay, one thing is for this information to be out. Another thing now is to petition. Because in Florida, right now, they are fighting in Florida. Texas stopped selling houses for foreigners. Texas already stopped completely. So they are complaining that Florida should stop. So Showore is catching this opportunity to petition the Attorney General of Florida. You understand? Things that can do that. If these things leak, people will use it more to work to say, we have to stop to sell properties for foreigner because it's making the price of property go high very fast because foreigners come to pay cash. They don't do this their 30 years mortgage. You understand? And many of them try to hide it. That's why it's a little bit hard because many of them use trust. But I think Wike is not smart with the game very well. Wike just go do it with his wife. He didn't use like trust where it'd be very, very hard for you to trace it to him directly. That's it.
I think the Ode question, I'm sorry, KJ, I know, uh, it's not about even that. The question is that what is the power or what is the confidence or what is the secret behind so say things that ordinary person will say or anybody will say, whether it will not be alive or be in jail. But my question and I think um, you are coming from the point like okay you think that the other side of it should be explored more whether it become an agent of other power but if you go back to when he was a president union in Lagos during Abacha that have never even stepped out of the country as a young boy in his 19 to 20 he has during Abacha time he was arrested. Many of the protesters were killed in the process. Even him was arrested. In fact, he was poisoned. So I think what I can say to you, don't I'm not sure in person. So what I can say to you is that Sore is a very interesting person. Uh, uh, Sometimes people ask, who give you this audacity to challenge this thing and be getting away with? And I don't see him being an agent for now. Nobody knows tomorrow. But what that I know about him is boldness is beyond talking. And what I find out that if we have more than 10 of Sore, if they are genuinely there's no force behind them, have this courage of him speaking to power and everything he does, I think Nigeria will be a better place because that is the audacity of challenging power and you see work on the street. It's something must be extraordinary behind you. Now, remember, it's also a man of a very intelligent guy, a man that used psychology. One of his court cases he went was uh, they were not allowing people, even the lawyer, to come in. And now he came up with the strategy of going with Babalawo. I don't know if you saw it. He came with Babalawo, and now the Babalawo was even a fake one. There's nothing like anything. It's a fake one. But they allow it, and that day he went to work out, and they let him have all that he wanted to have and free him. So sometimes it's a very interesting guy if you meet him. And I believe in, I don't think for now that if you look at it, everybody has a reason based on Nigeria to ask the same question you are asked. But then we should encourage people like him, his boldness, speaking to the power, but it's also to have the other side. What, how is this guy say this kind of a thing and get away with it in this society we have? And if there's nothing behind it, then it's person to be encouraged to be like any other person that speaks true to the power. But nevertheless, Tnubu too was not different in this aspect of speaking. And many Yoruba activists, we have seen even many of the Yoruba activists are more brutal. They may not be like so ray on it, but they were very educated and polished in the way they criticize sharp. Gani Faromi, the other one they killed, they assassinated in his house, the envelope one. What is it called him? Sports
Delegiwa,
manager, Delegiwa,
Delegiwa,
and the rest, Bola
Bamidele
Tinubu.
Aturu.
So all of these Yoruba people, when they come out, they come out. If you look at it in that way, they don't come out and they don't careful. They are one of the activists we have had in Nigeria, and from that side, they come out, they don't look back. So I think it's just part of who they are, just like people just possess so many different things. That's my own take. But I understand where you're coming from.
Well, thank you for giving. I'm just asking questions, and I'm very glad that you offered some explanation because knowing I think the most thing that people are scared of, even many journalists are in prison. They have been whisked away, even by state governors, by just rich people, for just saying less than half of what he has said. And I get, look, trust me, I admire the man and his courage, but, for the level of what he's saying, even, I don't like Tnubu, right? He's very, but I don't think I'm going to go and be calling him a thief in Abuja or criminal. I don't, even Trump, people call him as convicted because he's been convicted, right? You can call this guy anything, but the idea of the way the guy goes about it, the audacity, many times I just kind of have a reservation that, in Igbo language, we have, an adage that says, "Okay, soro ngwere mamiri, mmiri ko ngwere oga ako okay." I think KJ can explain that further. But, the whole idea is, many people have followed Showore and we have not seen them return. Why is it that he's still there? I feel there's more to it. And one day we'll find out, because there are so many times when issues of national importance come up, then Showore will show up. And he brings up something very interesting. And we all go down that drain. I just wonder if it's a distraction for everybody. Well,
okay,
thank you.
It can be both.
KJ, I'm sorry. Odi, two things that you can do if you go to Nigeria, you want to have peace of mind. I don't know the religion you practice. Just go to Nigeria. As far you are not a Celestial, you are not a member of Olumba. Go Nigeria, tell your friends, say you are going to Olumba church. Come meet me for church. I do Olumba. Come meet me at this Sele. They start running away from you. Go now. Halloween is on. Buy all those things Halloween. Go put them for your back house and your front house. Whether you get family or friend will come tell you anything. They run away. It's just simple as that. So ordinarily those beads that you see in Showore's neck and everything, they will say you don't get supernatural power. We fear what we don't know. That's the type of people we are. So growing up in Lagos, as a young man who is very skinny, not so handsome, and the likes, you manage a thief for your mama money, they give one girl, then you discover the girl, they wear one garment church. We go run, no, nobody they pursue us. You understand? Because they're threatening you with those power. We already believe that they have one mystic power. I will put you in coconut, I will burn candle for your head. You run. So Showore has done it. Then remember when IBB Buhari punished Showore the last time and everything. Senator Menendez, who happened to be the senator in his own constituency, fought for him. So that put another type of panic now. Is it that this guy is working for the CIA? You understand? How come he's with his wife?
What if he is? What if he is?
Yes, if he is and if he's not, and everything. So it's both ways. You understand? All those type of things. Is that how he's making his money? Is it that there is working for them and everything? But the best way to work for CIA is to also be in government, not to be outside government, so that you can even know more. So that may be also another thing. So Showore may just be stubborn. Remember, he's an Ondo man. You understand? He may just be stubborn because the Ondo and the Ekiti people are very radical and stubborn people. You understand? And at the same time, very educated. You understand? So it may just be that, either of both. Sometimes they might even push him to go do things like that, or he just may not be even doing it. You understand? But he's a dogged person. And remember, all great men, they often die in their 30s and 40s. Showore is in his 50s. You understand? So this guy is not scared of death. So death is not special. Sometimes we joke this type of jokes. So, boy, I don't want to go heaven. They too bored. I won't go hellfire. Where I go see MC Hammer, I go see Tupac, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. Watch all of them for free. You understand? So sometimes some people are like that. He may just be ready to go the other side. He doesn't really care. He's just doing what is follow his conviction. Sorry, KJ. I think KJ, you mute yourself.
We can't hear you, KJ.
I'm sorry. Sometimes people like that have already given themselves up. They don't care. So that's those days when we used to be in school, we used to say it is dangerous to fight a man who have nothing to lose, because it doesn't care. Even I like moving a fight from now to tomorrow. It doesn't care. It has nothing to lose. Now people know. Now they prove to be big boy. Now they wear clean white shirt come school. They get any clean white shirt to wear. So as long as if you can't carry more than rub all over your clothes, now you go shave, go out. So that's where it is. Shore has nothing to lose. Yes, it can be all that we have said it is, but there isn't many more people who are also that in Nigeria, but they're not putting themselves out as he's putting himself. So I think the guy has come to a point of not being afraid of, just like Paul said, of death. He doesn't care, and that is why it is even more dangerous. But I think he's also playing a role. For every character in a play has an important role to play. He's playing his role, and I appreciate. I've said here many times that I respect such people, because if I could play the role he's playing, I would not be here. I would have still back there. What me and the fear say, you understand what I'm saying? I don't want now. I'm not in a hurry to go to heaven. I'm not in a hurry. So, and you see, that is why such people, they don't care. Shore is always, he say one of his bags always packed. He's ready anytime. When they just knock, he'll carry his bag and begin to go. How many people live like that in Nigeria? So he's also playing a very important role for the nation. And I pray that he will continues to play. Whether it's good or bad, though, remember we'll have people like ABN, Aton Zeribe. Remember we'll have the Abacha group of, what's Kanu guy, that Kanu guy who was...
Daniel Kalu.
Daniel Kanu. These people all played part of history of Nigeria. And, today, of course, history will not remember them as you remember Shore. Shore have been in this game as a student leader. Some of us played in student leadership, but we never even got to the point where we put our chest, say, police, see me. Oh, yeah, you can do this. We'll not do that kind of one, because we will not say we're small for our family. We don't want just, So, my brother, what I'm simply saying that let's give it to the man. He has been consistent. He has been, some of us, if we have the kind of money I have, probably will not be even in the game. We would have retired ourselves, But that's it. So I will give each and every one of us, 3 minutes to make your final input, and then we will call it a day. Yeah, I'll start from Jonaba.
It's always nice to be with you. You are a good brother. You have a good temperament. I disagree with you in so many ways, but you are a good brother. And good to see Ude as well. Ude is a fellow citizen in this struggle. I think every Nigerian can testify that Nigeria is a good place. All of us would love to be there, eating the good food, fight. But he's already accepted to be a fugitive in the foreign land. It's a good thing to see him admitting that he's now settled down in Texas forever. But I think Nigeria, let's keep hope and hope against hope that one day we'll all say like Martin Luther King, freedom at last, freedom at last. We are free.
Amen. Amen. I like that. One day we all sing freedom at last. I crave for that day because many people around Africa keep saying that if Nigeria gets it right, Africa will get it right. When shall we get it right? Paul, your final thoughts.
Yeah, that is true. If Nigeria gets it right, Africa will get it right. And I hope and pray that we find that leader that will take us to that level because we have all the necessary thing to get it right. You understand? Brazil spring up very, very fast when they just choose to do the right thing because they have everything to make it work the right way and everything. So Nigeria, we are scattered all around the globe. We are exposed. We have the better good mineral resources, all the natural resources. Then on top of it, we also have human resources, but that part is the part that we still yet to use are human resources. So if we get it right, the better for every one of us. I get tired in this place every day. When I go on Facebook, when I see somebody put something like a goosey soup vegetable for Facebook, it dey pain me well. Because me, I dey eat the one way dey for mortuary. E dey for freezer 9 months or gone freezer 9 months. Goosey 9 months, everything 9 months. When I go Nigeria, they say, no, Polobo no eat here. We'll go one new place. I say, any food for Nigeria better pass where they come from. Because any restaurant you buy it, that thing there for freezer for long. When they eat the fresh one, you understand? So I want to go back home where I can eat the fresh one. So I hope and pray we get that country right. So that the better, like I said the other time, look, this kidnapping, negotiating with kidnappers and the likes. Among all the region in the country, it's only the Southeast that don't do that don't form alliance with bad people. And they punish them for it. So they becomes the abnormal now. The only normal people have become abnormal. When do we change the goalposts to do the right thing so that we all can be happy, we all can be proud? I was in the Georgia State University for my little niece who is doing a doctorate degree. I saw people from Saudi Arabia. They're all going back home. When I asked them, they're all going back home. All our people, they are looking for EB1 visa. Or to stay, not to go. You understand? You see my Ghanaian people, they are looking for what type of visa not to go. But these Middle East people, they are all going back home. There's better job for them. There's people who already flown from that place to here to celebrate them. You understand? And we have all this potential. Parents suffer, sell everything to send their kids here. And after the knowledge again, they give the knowledge to people who will not even recognize it, curse us for it and everything. I hope someday that we can get it right and the better it becomes for every one of us. I'll use my little daughter before I shut down. My daughter happened to be the first grandchild from my wife's side and everything. From my wife people, they love her so much. This is their first grandchild. You know, when this girl want to go study, she understand everything because she's done her own research and discovered that to be a doctor in Nigeria is very, very short. Within 7 years, you're a doctor. To be a doctor in America, it takes 10, 11 years before you can stand up to say, I'm a doctor. She said, I'm just going to go to Unilag. The people, our own family that love us so much say, it not go happen, no. They don't agree the child where you carry Nigerian passport, say, it not go happen. You can imagine. Instead of them to take advantage, you know the way grandparents take every advantage to stay with their grandchild. But they don't trust their own country. They say, no, come visit, Moku hide you, make you carry your wala go, make you thank God. You can imagine. They say, no, it not go happen, no. They discourage the girl. That's my take for now.
Thank you so much. And thank you also for that personal story. Because sometimes when we speak this in an abstract, people don't think these things happen. But when somebody you are looking at tells you his or her own story, you know that these things are real. And I can imagine, you know, what they're afraid of. Because you only, even in your house, you're not safe. I have a video that I watched on the internet yesterday of two young girls who are living somewhere in Asokoro Extension. It's from Asokoro Extension that terrorists came to kidnap them in their house. You know, Asokoro Extension, that's right inside Abuja. Okay, they were kidnapped and they were seriously beaten, and they even used knife to almost remove one of the girls' their eyes. Okay, now if they were not telling their story, you think these things are not real because people are making it up. But these girls, despite giving everything, these people still wanted to carry them and go into the bush, and they carried them. And even one of them had a police friend which she called and said, look, oh, these people are around. He said, yes, we know, we're working on it. They worked on it. The whole people, the whole of the where they live, the compound was everybody about 12 rooms or thereabout were all robbed, you know, and it took them a while, more than 3 hours. The police were still working on it, and even eventually, you know, they managed to escape. They met the police who they said no, they are around here. They didn't bother to go into the bush to look for anybody. So when these things are told in this way, people know that this is happening. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing your personal story. My brother Ike.
Thank you, KJ. Thank you, everybody, for us to be here today. I'm only going to rant. I want to rant to my brothers and sisters in Anambra State. I just want to do a rant. We have seen the Dubai that Mr. Soludo promised the people of Anambra State. We have seen the Dubai he promised to give the people of Anambra State. The Dubai is all about pursuing native doctors, all about name calling. He has become a complete tout in Anambra State. So November is coming very close. So I am appealing to the people of Anambra State that this man should not come back. With him and the governorship candidate of APC, Chifu Kachuku, that one is a criminal. The Anambra people should not even think about that one at all. So I am appealing to the people of Anambra State. It is not time of the time of Apaga is gone. We are not talking about party, but we are talking about persons. This man has proven that his professorship has no meaning. The governor of Enugu State rigged the election. But he has proven that even though I can rig election and become governor, but I can deliver dividend of democracy to the people of Enugu State. And I don't think when this man is contesting the election anytime, any other person will come and challenge him, just like Alexot in Abia State. The governor of Enugu State has proven the point that he has his people at his hand, and he's doing wonderfully well. The man that we were looking up to, the governor of Anambra State, he has become a shadow of what we were thinking that is going to be. So I am appealing the people of Anambra State. It has nothing to do with party. We need a fresh idea. We need fresh mind. We need fresh people that has something good for the people of Anambra State. Because if Anambra is working, the whole Southeast will be working. But what you see in the insecurity in Anambra right now is greater than what the insecurity in the whole of Southeast combined with the one that is happening in the Benue State and the other Middle-based state. Anambra is no-go area right now. If that most of the people of Anambra State, where they do their marriage ceremony now is in Abuja. Where they do their celebration is in Abuja. Why? Because of insecurity. So I am appealing to people of Anambra State, forget Isi Okoko, forget Okoko and the red hair. We need a new person in the government house of Anambra State, because the Dubai that he has promised, he has not delivered. He have used his security network, terrorizing people and killing innocent people in Anambra State, all about trying to maintain peace in Anambra State. But he has created crisis in Anambra State. So my rant tonight is that I'm appealing to the people of Anambra State. Please, November is here. This man should not return back at the government house, because he has become a total disappointment to everybody. I'm not from Anambra, but it's so painful to my heart what is going on in Anambra State. Am I going to talk about my state, Imo State? No. Because the governor of Imo State lives in Abuja. He runs the Imo State from Abuja, because every day he's standing at the airport waving to your president. He doesn't know what is going on in Imo State. He stays and he lives in Abuja. That's where the government house of Imo State is in Abuja. He stays in Abuja almost the whole 1 month in Abuja. Only go to Imo State to go and see his wife and children. And the next Monday morning he's in Abuja. If you cross around the Asorok, you see him with his white and white running around Asorok. So he's no more the governor of the state. He lives in Abuja. So I am appealing to the people of Anambra State. Please, November is here. Don't allow this man to come back. I don't care who comes back, but it shouldn't be this man. I wish all of us the best of the new week. God bless you and bless your family. Good night, everybody.
Amen. Thank you so much. Odi. Hello, Mr. Odi.
All Hello. Right. Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay.
Well, look, I just I don't really have much to say. I just want to thank you guys for coming here again for us to get our therapy session. We may not change anything, but at least we can talk about it. And then we go home, we feel better. We can sleep at night.
Odi, are you suggesting that this place is a psychiatric hospital or what?
No, really. It's look, many times we know we're not gonna really change anything. But look, at least if we talk about it, we'll feel better about it. It's true, look, many times, when you get in this kind of debates, it's fruitless. But look, maybe someone will learn something. And I've learned something, I learned something from a few guys today, and thank you very much. But, also, what I just say is be vigilant, for everybody, speak truth to power. Just know that whatever you do today, you will reap the benefits tomorrow. I have people who are in government now, who are enjoying, but I know that they'll be on the other side in the next 4 years, right? Malami was there. He was one of the most powerful people in the government. If you wanted to get any type of favor from Buhari, they went to Malami. Now Malami is now on the opposition. How fast things change. So there are people who say we have power, but what have they been able to achieve with the power? Everybody's poor in Nigeria. I like what Paul, I always use that analogy, because when I found out, that New York, I think it has even gotten worse from New York City had more GDP. And if you even look at the budget of New York City, you realize how poor a country we are. And it's not like we can't be rich. We can. We have all the things that, that is given to any people to be rich. But we just want to wallow in mediocrity, and which is a shame, and, I think one of the worst things we have been dealt with, tribalism, whether it's from the British or the Americans or whoever colonized Nigeria. But we are really more focused on talking about where, I really take offense to, not in a terrible way, to when Paul was talking about, how Ondo or Ekiti people are. Are you kidding me? Have you, there's nothing more special about the whatever, the fiery nature of Ekiti man. Or, you see, we're all Nigerians. You can find the same thing in everybody. It's just that people are treated differently, so they can say whatever they want. Igboho said the same thing that Nnamdi Kanu said. Nnamdi Kanu has been in jail. Igboho is now a kingmaker. So now tomorrow you now tell me, Igboho is a brave man. He's a chicken. He was running around in Cotonou the other day trying to escape. Nnamdi Kanu too was trying to do his own. Well, he escaped and they grabbed him. So we are all the same people. We bleed red. Whenever you see a black person, no matter where the person, there's that nod. That makes us the same people. We have to fix this land. I don't know how we do it. Join a party, like Mr. Ike said. Everybody should have a PDP, APC. Have a card. Get one. Have a say. Maybe one day, you'll be in a position to make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right. Yes, Chim, your turn. And your final take.
Well, what do I have to say other than like Odi rightly said, we'll keep making our contributions, calling out leadership where we need to call it out. For in a position to make contributions or join a political party, join. But I don't know that that particular part is a good advice, though, because joining political party in Nigeria now, like joining cult, I would rather go and join Kegites than join a Nigerian political party. They only do meetings in Nigerian political parties in the middle of the night. Those ones they show you during network news is just surface. The real decision, if you can wait until 3 a.m. in the night, that's when they do their meeting. I'm not nocturnal, so I'm not going to join any political party. I don't get their strength. But, I think Nigeria should not be in the state where it is right now. It shouldn't. There's absolutely no reason why we should be where we are economically and socially or otherwise. All of this is self-inflicted. All of this is a failure of leadership, but primarily also a failure of followership. So the advice I will give us is Nigerians need to remove this, stop voting political elites that are not offering us anything. We know these people. There's certain people I cannot vote for. Let's start voting good people. I don't need to like Paul. If I have an idea that, okay, this Paul is a decent man, whether Paul didn't give me, he winked at me, didn't wink at me, but I know that Paul is good. Paul can be a senator, and I'm in a position to give him that vote. Give it to him. But what I see is because somebody gave you a bag of rice, because Papa shot Sokwe, like Yorubas will say, that's why you are voting certain people, and those people only go there and pursue their own interest. I remember when the Anambra election was holding, is it 3 or 4 years ago? I told somebody back then, even though Valentine Ozigbo has misbehaved now, but I thought back then he was a better candidate than this prof. This prof from his antecedents, I don't know him as a person, but remembering his legacy as CBN governor, his behavior. Yes, you see sometimes we say, oh, his economic policies, yes, but go and look at his social life when he was governor. He was not supposed to be, he was the first central bank governor that started hobnobbing with commercial bank MDs. Go back and check. This man, he was the first person. CBN governors used to be immune, just do their policy, meet at social event, at public functions by CBN. But this one was every party these people were doing, he will attend he started over hobnobbing with them. And when you start doing that, they start bribing you. That's when the UBA will tell you, if you give us this, we do this for you. That's when the Senate Bank will do, all those things that are happening. And when I read, what's this man's name? The former governor of Kaduna State, accidental public servant.
Very fine.
When I read that book from start to finish, I still have it. I'm looking at it right here. And the things he said about Soludo, I was shocked. Do you know all those things the man said? Forget this El Rufai. He's one kind of human being. Everything he said about Soludo in that book, Soludo has shared. He said Soludo is very ambitious. There's nothing wrong in being ambitious, but Soludo is so ambitious that he can get blinded by the right thing. That it's all about this. When somebody comes from a not too well-to-do background and you're hobnobbing with elites, suddenly you're trying to push through your own. That's what Soludo is doing today, if we're going to be honest. So I think we need to stop getting carried away by who we elect. Nigerians elect very horrible people. We elect people. So that's the only thing I would say. I wish everybody a wonderful week. And then I'll see you guys this time round on Sunday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paul. It was good to have you.
KJ, can I report one thing? That Mr. Ike said? Mr. Ike said Opal Zodima is working from Abuja. And Mr. Ike too is working from home. Is it not the same thing?
Okay. On that faithful note of Opal Zodima working from home to govern the people of our Imo State. Thank you, Mr. Paul, for being here. Thank you, Bro Ike. Thank you, Chim. Thank you, Odi. we are really truly blessed by your presence. You've given us your time and your treasure. May God also replenish from where you are going to pay your data and the time that you've used. Time and money in America. It may not be so in other places, but in America and other parts of the country, like where Chim is and where Bro Ike is, it is money. And so it's also a treasure that cannot be regained. The time we spent with you guys today, it will never come back again. It's part of your life, and so we appreciate it. And all of you who are on the comment section, Ovie, Queen TA, and so many, those who like us, those who do not like us, we appreciate all of you, because the show wouldn't have gone on without your comments, without your contribution. Oscar Blastone, even though you didn't buy me a coffee today, I'm supposed to be your friend, but no problem. I will take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, I would have loved a headpan of salt, but let me just take it with a pinch of salt, hoping that next time you will be able to do that for me. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And on behalf of Dr. Rudolph, I will say we will meet again next week, where we'll continue. And maybe within the week, I'm still trying to work on something. If it goes through, we'll have a special broadcast or during the within the week. But until then, thank you so much. We appreciate you all. And our people, the beat goes on. That is where we round it up today. We have canvassed a lot of views. Whether you seem to accept what you have said or not, our own intention or our intent is to make sure that Nigeria becomes a better nation, and that our people will live a better life. Better life is for here, not in heaven. God has promised us to live better life here on earth. So if we are not doing things properly, and we have a government who still believes that they are colonial masters governing our geographical space, then we should correct them. We should start by correcting them, making them know that it is their civic responsibility as a government to do the right thing at all times. And if they don't want to do that, then let's contribute and vote them out. And I want to say a special message to the people of Anambra State. I don't think I see the Dubai that we were promised. If we are not seeing the Dubai we were promised, let's make the better choice. It's not English. Or just start English. We're not a person who can speak English we're looking for. We're looking for somebody who can bring development to our people, to our communities. And that's what we're looking for. Not the man who has the best educational qualification. And so let that be what we look out for as we go into the next election. And until then, I say thank you. And on behalf of every one of us here, I say let us celebrate with our uncle.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,844,000,000 1 trillion. This money is too much for me.
I am adure lele idu kwasamaka onyoma odiga powder idu kwasamupu onyoma odiga fomu idu kwasamishi onyoma odiga pilu ololololo adurubu ebule ebule wakamwa iwariwo ice Rosa Olerio Rosanna Olerio Rosanna Olerio adikadimba Adure Oleri Olerio Adure ebule wakamwa iwariwo Adure lele Idu kwasamaka onyoma odika powder Idu kwasamuku onyoma odika fumu Idu kwasamishi onyoma